This pass is intercepted by Anthony Petty, the senior from Wigan. Get those pom-poms in the air.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. It's the Boombox Classic this weekend. Are we excited or are we excited? I'm excited. And I am more excited because I decided to do a versus. And I have a special guest with me in here tonight. Hopefully he don't get disrespectful. We're going to keep it petty, but respectful. Or if you're going to be disrespectful, no name calling and cussing. I'm sure, wait till you see him. He's ready too. He got his war suit on. I think I should have been wearing sweats or something. I think I dressed up a little bit too much for this battle that we're getting ready to partake in. But this is the Jackson State versus Southern. And I am excited because we're going to be petty. We're going to have fun. And we're going to talk about football. And then we're going to open up the panel for others to join in and give their 2 cents. Y'all go ahead and start commenting in the chat what the score is that you think. What do you think the score will be? Like, what do you guys think? I'm thinking. What's up?
I thought you was, I didn't know what I was getting into coming on here. I really didn't. I didn't know how this was gonna go, but I already see.
Is that why you have a towel on and a white beater and your glasses and what?
You gotta be ready to fight when I'm dealing with Jackson State. You got to be ready to fight. I never know what I got to do. Y'all come out of nowhere. Y'all don't play fair. So.
Played pretty fair with you, I gave you several opportunities and chances to get yourself together. You don't think I gave you a fair shake?
I'm not complaining at all. I'm just saying I don't know what I was getting into. When you go to the ghetto, you never know what you're gonna get when you go to the ghetto.
A ghetto.
So I don't know. I don't know what I'm getting here as I'm here.
When you say go to the ghetto, you couldn't be talking about the illustrious Jackson State. You have to be talking about Baton Rouge, right?
Exactly what I'm talking about. The illustrious Jackson State. When you go to the ghetto, I don't know what I'm getting into. So I just got to be prepared for anything. I've been to Valley Street before. I know what it looked like.
Okay, well, this, you know, it's funny because I found a clip of you and you was rocking a Jackson State shirt.
I had to rock it. I lost.
It seems like you're a fan.
Okay. Man, hey, write a check your ass can cash, man. That's all I can say. Man, hey, write a check your ass can cash, man. That's all I can say. Man, hey, write a check your ass can cash, man. That's all I can say.
So it seems like you over here writing blank checks again. It's 2024. You ain't learned your lesson. You over here already. We just got here and you already clowning. You know what? I did give you an opportunity, right? I gave you an opportunity. I said, hey, do you have any memes for this Southern
memes? What the hell is a meme?
A meme, like something that represents the pettiness in between the two schools. And you was like, nah, I ain't got that. So to me, you came prepared like you was you looked like you was trying to take a shower and the lights went out because of the hurricane or something.
That ain't even nothing you're supposed to be joking about. You see, that's a different type of petty. That's
the hurricane didn't even hit. You was waiting to take a shower and it didn't come. That's what I was told. I was told that it didn't hit. So am I right or am I wrong?
You wrong.
Hurricane Francine said it. Hurricane Francine. People was like, I gotta go to work today. But you ain't got to worry about Hurricane Francine because we getting ready to hit you. We get ready to hit you.
Who is we? Who is that?
You don't see that picture up there? That's who getting ready to hit you.
What I'm looking at.
Are you blind? Take off your sunglasses so you can see. You don't want to take them off.
What I'm supposed to be looking at though? Like, what you getting at? What you getting at?
So this is Jackson State getting ready to beat up on Southern. I don't know. You got glasses on. I don't know if you got cataracts. You went and got your eyes dilated. I don't know what's going on.
I got all that.
So do you see the picture?
I see the picture.
I'm just showing you a picture of you got one ass whooping out the way and now you getting ready to get another one.
What was the first ass whooping?
The one you've been getting for 4 years.
Well,
so look, you know what? I found a video and I think you're in this video actually.
You think I'm in it? Either I'm in it or I'm not. Yeah. Which one? Am I in it or am I not?
A lot of y'all, I ain't trying to be funny and this is no disrespect, but a lot of the of y'all have the same hairstyle. Like, and they wear y'all Southernites, y'all have the same hairstyle. So I don't know. It could be you, it could not be. So I'm gonna have you tell me whether or not you in this video. I think you might be. You might be.
Which person do you think I am in the video?
Ain't that you? Wait, ain't that you?
That's right me. There.
That's you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember if you guys even scored a touchdown that day?
You be all over the internet looking for me.
I ain't even scored a touchdown that day. You doing all that hopping. You look like you was trying to play.
Where you find this at?
Huh?
Where you find this at?
How much did y'all score that day, Perry?
Where you find this video at?
How much did you score that day, Perry?
Well, you asked me, am I in the video? I'm curious to know where you find this video at.
My name is SheLovesThee, and I do my research. I can't disseminate where I got it from.
You just been scouring the internet, just saying, what can I find?
No, not scouring. It fell into my lap.
How many more you got fell into your lap? Keep them coming. I'm enjoying this. I'm watching myself tonight. I haven't watched myself like this in a long time. What else you got for me?
So how much did you score while you was doing all that trotting? You look like you was skipping. You was skipped to my little, wasn't it? How much did y'all score that day?
Who won that day?
You didn't score a touchdown. That's the day.
Just crack yourself up.
Help Perry out. What was that score, y'all? Go ahead and comment in the chat. Do y'all remember that score? It was an egg drop and something else. Since you don't remember, I would have forgot too, though, to be honest. If you know the score, help Perry out. He seemed like he got selective amnesia. Y'all help him out in the chat.
That's how I know you don't even know what you be getting on the internet. This wasn't even the first game. This was the championship.
So you do know what? So you do know what score it was, though, right?
I know all the scores. Okay, y'all won them funky little 4 games. What do you want from me tonight? Like, do you want to just rub in them 4 wins? You can have them little 4 wins. If that's what's gonna help you make it through this show tonight, congratulations. How old was you doing that? How old was you from 2013 to 2021 on that run where I didn't hear nothing? You can have that because I gloated for a long time from 13 to 21. How old was you within that span?
Why are you worried about my age?
Oh, okay. That's now why I'm worried.
Why are you worried about my age?
I'm just trying to figure out
got to do with it.
How did you mature as a woman from 2013 to 2021 while Southern was whooping your ass doing that? What was life like for you for that long period of time? Now don't worry about it.
What have you done for me lately? What have you done for me lately?
I just want to know what you was doing. What kind of woman from 13 to 21, what life was like in that period? Because that was a long time for you to grow into whoever you are today. So what was it like during that time period?
Why you don't Nugget need to come up here and tell us his experience, this rivalry that we speak of. We need to hear from the players, the rivalry that they speak of. I know Nugget loved it. I wish I can find that video right now, but I can't play the.
Come on, you SheLovesThee. Find the video. You're the FBI.
I can't play it because it's walking your trap, take over your trap. Oh, your trap, friends, trap. Chop, chop, chop. Hey, walking your trap, take over your trap. You don't remember that? Walking off the I know y'all was sick when Malachi Whiteman got that touchdown, and you was even sicker when Shiloh got that interception. But you know that was Prime Day, right? And y'all thought y'all could beat us. And guess what we did? We walked in the trap again, and walking your trap, take over your trap. Okay, wait a minute. Before we get started, this is our petty time, right? This is our petty time on the right hand side. On the right, that's your problem. I told you. I said, do you got it? Hey, so I'm gonna bring to the stage Mr. Ford, and then we're gonna start Southern breakdown with Perry White. I'm gonna let my guests go first. I'm petty, but I also like looking at numbers and talking football. Then we're gonna get the Jackson State breakdown, and then we'll have an open panel. It's so great. We're gonna be petty and talk about football. How you doing, Mr. Ford?
Hey, how you doing? Can you hear me?
Yes. How you doing, Mr. Ford? Where you been?
I'm working. Hey, this is Perry, right?
Mr. Ford.
Yeah, Perry, I enjoy you and Brand. Is it Brandy? What's the young ladies with you on Saturday mornings?
You got it right.
Yeah, I really enjoy y'all, man. I enjoy your program. Looking forward to the game Saturday.
Mr. Ford.
Uh-huh.
You know, as I listen to you all the time, I always picture you being a man of just a class. What you doing over here in the ghetto?
I love Miss Timona.
Oh, okay.
I love it. But I love your show too, Doc. Listen. Huh?
I said we all like a little ghetto every now and again.
Yeah, I love Miss Timona.
every now and again. I'm just trying to figure out. Thought you had some more class about yourself than to be hanging out in the ghetto all the time.
No, I love Miss Simona. You know, she's my favorite. But I love your show too now. You know, I listen to you on Saturday. I walk with a group of men, and while we walking, we listen to you and Miss Brandy. Yeah, we listen to y'all on Saturday mornings over here.
I appreciate you.
Yeah, on YouTube. We listen to y'all. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, you see, she's starting with me. I'm coming in here trying to just be for the people, trying to be nice, you know, but boy, I tell you, it's ghetto over here.
Hey, listen, I can't wait to see this game, man. This game is gonna tell us a lot about the SWAC, man. Cause if y'all can get, you know, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I watched the Savannah State game. I watched the McNeese game. I'm really down on Mark right now. I hate to say it, man. I want Terrence to do well. You know, I was a big fan of Pete Richardson's, and Terrence is a disciple of Pete's, and I want him to do well. But I'm gonna tell you right now, Mark just got me down right now, man. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I think Jackson will win it by at least 2 touchdowns because I don't think Mark is gonna come up with a game plan. I love your defense. I like the depth. I like everything going, but right now I'm just until I can see something change in my mind, I'm kind of down on Mark as offensive coordinator. I really believe that eventually they're gonna have to get a play call into Willie Totten. I'm just being honest. I don't like some things. Even though you beat Savannah State, I still was not impressed offensively. Now I love that young man. What's his name? Is it T-Set? What's the quarterback's name?
Jacobian T-Set.
Listen, he's a star in the making. He's gonna be the face of the SWAC and all of that. But now one thing with the ability that he has, he can cover up some of the faults that Mark has. And with Mark is too plain. He has no imagination. I feel he's a running back coach, but he is not a play caller. He's not a play caller.
Well, Mr. Ford, I'm so glad that you're on here because the first segment, I'm going to let my guest, Mr. Perry White, I'm going to let him, he's going to pick 3 players that he feels are going to have an impact for Southern. And then I'm going to pick my 3 players that I feel is going to have an impact for Jackson State. And so I'm so glad that you're here because, you know, he's going to probably need a little bit of help. But it's interesting enough. I'm going to give him the floor. I'm going to give him the floor.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Perry.
Yeah.
So how you want to do this? You want me to just go through these 3 guys and
basically I don't know if you want to go back and forth or you just want to get your 3 out the way. It's however you want to do it. I'll
start here offensively, then I will move on. I guess if I just tell you, you'll be able to click for me. You'll at least help me out.
Of course. I'm the petty part is gonna be in the chat.
All right. I know what I should have known what I was getting myself into tonight. All right, everybody. Jacobian T-Set, this is Southern University's quarterback, right? Backup guy. Got a chance to play a little bit in the first game against McNeese State when Southern couldn't really find no offense going. Noah Biden was the starting quarterback to name the season. But they give Jacobian T-Set, a local kid from Scotlandville High School right here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, an opportunity last week after the first 4 possessions that Southern had against Savannah State. Southern couldn't really get anything going. You looked up at the scoreboard at one point, it was 9 points, 3 straight field goals made, and Southern could not get the offense going from the run game or the passing game. Noah Biden had threw an interception, and then they put in the freshman. Jacobian T-Set, he gets in, throws for over 300 plus yards, lights up the scoreboard, and you saw Southern's offense really turn into something that you had not seen in the previous game, nor in the first 4 series of the game against Savannah State. Jacobian T-Set is a dual threat quarterback. He is a guy that can beat you with his arm and his leg. He's a young guy. He was a part of the program last year, redshirt freshman. But I think he's the guy, if you give him an opportunity, a 3-star in high school, highly recruited, but he chose to stay home at Southern University. This kid has the intangibles to be great in this league. It's just when you deal with a freshman guy, he has to grow up. And right now, for Xavier Tissett, for his first start in his collegiate career, it's going to be a tough one on the road against a hated rival, Jackson State. This kid, I believe, if he is able to show himself, grow up in this game and manage it and not be distracted, I think he has a bright future, and there's a lot that you're going to learn about Tissett in this game. He is a gamer. He is a guy that you can rely on. It's just when you have that freshman kid at quarterback, mistakes ensue. It happens. And that's what you're going to get out of a young quarterback early on. There are going to be mistakes, but I think you can see the upside, the promise to him. So Xavier Tissett, I have his overall. You asked me about an overall rank. I'm going to give him an 83 right now. I think the ceiling can be high for this kid, but we have to watch him grow up. He has a lot more eligibility left. But I think right now, just from what he has shown, he has the big play capability. He gives you the explosive plays up the field because he's not afraid to throw the ball. And when he scrambles out of the pocket, he keeps his eyes up the field. That's something we didn't see with Noah Biden, who looked more for those short intermediate routes and kind of let the deep routes get past him. So Tissett give you a better chance if you're looking for explosive plays of 20 yards or more, as well as he can do it with his legs. And because of that, defenses have to then respect him along with the running backs.
That was such a great overview of Tissett. I didn't even know you had that type of Xenex Sequoia. Where'd you learn that at? Chat GPT?
This is the ghetto.
Okay.
Normally people who talk like
Lord,
that.
Lord, you gotta come up with some new jokes. Ghetto ain't
too much class for her, Mr. Ford.
Ghetto ain't ghetto.
Yeah, that's a little too good for Mr.
You gotta
Ford.
come out with something new. All right, so I'm just gonna put a little pushback on you because that's how it goes over here. We not just gonna let you just proclaim somebody dual threat. Where's he got Russian statistics at?
You ever watch this kid in high school?
We ain't talking about high school.
He's a freshman. So what do you want him to learn?
He's a red shirt freshman. This was versus Savannah State. He only ran for 12 yards.
Mr. Ford, would you like to ask me anything? I know you typically ask the questions. Would you like to ask me anything about this guy? Because
can you hear me?
her not understanding he's a red shirt freshman, got his first time playing in last week.
You're the one who's saying he's dual threat, and I'm just telling you.
Can you hear me?
Savannah State. Hang on, Mr. Ford.
Okay.
You're the one that said he's a dual threat, right?
He
so
is
I'm going to push back on it, right? Because you played at 2 school and was only able to rush for 12 yards. That's all I'm saying. I'm asking, right? I'm pushing back with the facts.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact
Let me ask you this.
that he wasn't able to run on a Savannah State defense. And as you know, Jackson State's defense is a lot more stout than Savannah State. So that's all I was trying to say. And let Mr. Ford go ahead and ask.
No, hold on, Mr. Ford. Hold on. Let me ask her a question. Let's start here. Football. What is a dual threat?
A dual threat means that he's got passing game and he's got the run game, right?
Okay,
and what I'm saying is,
let's start there. I'm just asking a simple question. I want to keep things simple for you. I don't want to complicate things for Jackson State.
Oh people. No, you're not gonna overwork and out-talk me when it comes to football, baby.
Well, let's keep it simple because you asked me something and then you want my response. Now you get my response, and I would like for your response as well. You said he's a dual. You asking me why am I saying he's a dual threat because you don't see the numbers. If he's a red shirt freshman, what does red shirt mean?
It means that he played either none at all or less than 4 games, but right? Yeah, right.
Less than 4 games. Freshman, what does freshman mean?
Well, technically he's a sophomore, and technically he was going against the D2 defense, and technically he should have had more than 12 yards. Because if you think that dual threat is going to be an issue for Jackson State, and he couldn't even get the run game down on South for Savannah State, that's all I'm saying. But you know what? You're right. You said he's a dual threat, so I am sure that we're gonna have to look at his huddle. Got you. I'm gonna look up.
That's exactly what you have to do.
And that's the thing. Like, this is something that you're supposed to provide the numbers, right? I provide the platform, and you are basically we're going back and forth, right?
I present the
Because what I see is I
opportunity
see some
and
I
go
see
look
some
up everything.
basketball. I see some basketball on here. I don't know if I could see anything else. I see some basketball on there. I don't see I'm sorry, I didn't. Let me see if I can get him some high school highlights. We going back to high school days.
Right, he's a redshirt freshman.
Have any questions to ask? He got some film from practice. He got practice film, at least. All right.
Yeah.
Let's see what we got here, young man. Let's see what we got, Mr. T-Set. I'm just warning you. I'm just the messenger, okay?
What I don't understand is you looking for his dual threat ability, a guy who's finna get his first
You
start.
said.
What are you looking for? Like, what do you think you're gonna find? That's what the whole question mark, I believe, for everybody. I'm not mind. They went in one ear.
Everybody who says they a dual threat don't mean they a dual threat. That's all.
Okay.
Maybe he is a dual threat. That's all. You gonna make us miss the throw. Talking all that miss. Athletic run. Here he go, y'all. There he go. There he go. There he go. He ran back 5 yards and okay. Velocity throw across the middle. Okay. Progression. So,
do you know what that means when they say progression? The way he was in the pocket, you understand what that means? What he's doing in that position?
I understand that he's going to be seeing stars this weekend because he's going to be there's going to be so much pressure put on him, you know? Mr. Ford, you got any questions about T-Set?
Well, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, it's no question he's a dual threat. Now, the thing that I like about him is when we were coaching football, when we graded our quarterback, we said, let's look at the quarterback when the play breaks down. What can he do? And it's obvious he can do a lot. Okay. He's under the tutelage of Willie Totten, which is really good, and Fred McNair. The criticism I gave earlier about Mark is, to me, Mark is a running back coach. Okay, he doesn't understand the air game, and what he calls the air game is really stale. Okay, so the good part about it is he's getting a chance to be with Willie Totten and Fred McNair. Okay, I'm looking forward to seeing his career because I think he's going to be the face of the SWAC. I really do, in the future. You talking about a young man that's got 4 years left? Yeah, he's going to be the
What
face.
about in 48 hours?
Huh?
What about in 48 hours?
It's going to be looking. We're going to find out a lot about T-Set. We're going to find out a lot about Jackson. We're going to find out a lot about Trouble.
All right. Next.
You ready for me? Or do I need to give you some definitions before I start?
Oh, baby, you don't have to give me no definitions. The only definition that you're going to be taking is that big L this weekend.
Okay, I just need to make sure.
I didn't know. Are we having a vocabulary test or are we talking about football? Are we doing vocabulary?
I'm talking football, but I clearly had to explain.
You can't talk over me. You can't out-talk or outwork me, baby. It don't work like that, okay? So,
that's clearly what I think you're looking for.
Let's go. Tell me about
Kelly Gibbons. You wanted me on here for a reason.
Yeah.
Oh, he's one of the best in FCS.
All right.
No, Mr. Ford, you came in my inbox and said, do you want to do a show? Did you not?
I said we could collaborate, but I didn't know you wanted to do a show.
Right, you said
we
could collaborate. So then I said, he was in my inbox saying he wanted to collaborate. So then I went back in my inbox where you asked to collaborate. And I said, hey, do you want to do this show? That's all.
And I said, sure. And then when you asked me to give you everything,
reached out to me. Right, because I've actually done this show before. I've done this for South Carolina State versus Jackson State. I did it last year. T-Set, table set, Trey
the point
set,
of what I'm saying
offset,
is,
JSU by 40.
if this is what you do, you clearly, I have to tell you what a red shirt freshman is and why you didn't see stats for a dual threat. So I just want to make sure moving forward that you understand before I get to talking football talk, do I need to reiterate and slow down and teach you anything before I keep going?
You ain't gonna get nowhere over here, baby. Go ahead, Jacoby Givens. Do you have his accolades, or do I need to pull him up? Because it don't look like you came prepared. Do I need to pull him up for you?
Do you know what a defensive end? I'm gonna start there. What a DN is. All right, everybody that's watching, let's talk some football. We'll let her sit back. She's here for other reasons.
Yeah, let me sit back. Let me sit back.
Yeah, please sit back, because clearly if you never watched me before, you don't know how I get down when I give information, which why it's going over your head, or you might be a little surprised at my vernacular when it comes to being able to speak football and give people information. So I hope you enjoy this.
That's why don't nobody watch you though. Don't nobody watch you though. All this.
That's fine. If they don't watch me, then why they saying my name in the comments? And why you going and find all this film on me? You found me in a Jackson State shirt. You finding me with a flag, but don't nobody watch me though.
I've been had that on my page from 2 years ago, sir.
Well, I appreciate it. All right, let's jump into this second player that we're looking for. Kelby Givens, right? Defensive end for Southern University. This kid right here, as advertised. If you have not seen this kid, he is an absolute baller. Go back last year, she's saying, because she hasn't watched the film. If you can pull it up, then pull it up. But this kid right here, SWAC football preseason player of the year on the defensive side. And you will see why if you go back to last year and see what this kid is able to do. He is able to disrupt anything to the outside as well as cause pressure to quarterbacks. He gets to the quarterback really quick. And because of that, this kid right here has leadership. He is a leader on the defensive side for Southern University. And if you ever met this kid, you wouldn't even think that he could be the monster that he is on the football field. But this kid right here, with the pressure that he's able to give to quarterbacks and disrupt the run, Kelby Givens, there's a reason why they picked him as the preseason SWAC Defensive Player of the Year.
All right, so it's interesting that this person who I brought on here to brag about Southern's team did not come prepared. You know, he kind of was just winging it from what he remembers, and instead of that, he hasn't came prepared. So let me do Jacoby Givens some justice. Let me go ahead and let you guys know about Jacoby, because for some reason he's more so worried about vocabulary than the actual players he's bringing to the table. So Jacoby Givens is a defensive end. He's 6'3", 250 pounds. He's a junior. He's from Shreveport, Louisiana. His high school is Captain Shreve High School. A list of his accolades: he was the 2022 Field Steel third team All SWAC, 2022 Blue Bloods freshman All-American, 2022 Field Steel freshman All-American, 2023 FCS Football Central All-American, 2023 HBCU Box Store All-American. Goodness gracious, 2024 Buchanan FCS National Defensive Player of the Year watch list, 2023 SWAC Defensive Player of the Week, 2023 First Team All SWAC Defensive End, 2024 SWAC Preseason Defensive Player of the Year, 2024 SWAC Preseason First Team Defensive End. He's had some accolades from 2022 to 2024. You want to know what Southern has also had in 2022? A L. Do you want to know what they've in 2023 Southern had versus Jackson State? Another L. All these L's. I think they actually had 2 L's in 2022, right? And he's been here all along. We must got a good offensive line, huh? Or you need me to give you the vocabulary for that? 35-0, one of them years that he was on that team, right? Dang. I mean, I don't know about football, so you're just going to have to tell me. But he's been at Southern, and we ain't seen him. But he does have accolades. In 2023 season, Jacoby started all 11 games during the 2020 season, totaling 61 tackles, 21 tackles for loss, 7 sack, forced fumbles, and 1 fumble recovery. In 2022, Jacoby started 7 games during his freshman campaign, finishing the season with 23 tackles, 7.5 tackles for loss, 3.5 sacks, along with a pass deflection and a forced fumble. This is Mr. Jacoby Givens. He sounds pretty stout, don't he, Mr. Ford?
Yeah, can you hear me?
What do you think about Mr. Givens?
Oh yeah, he's outstanding. He's one of the top defensive players in HBCU football and in the FCS. I've watched him. Well, let me say this: Southern's defense is stout. I have no qualms, no problems with their defense. My problems and my criticism is all directed at the offensive coordination.
You know who else has got facts and tape on him? The offensive line.
Oh yeah, that's
Definitely
gonna be
going to be a battle on. It's going to be a battle on Saturday.
Yeah, without a doubt.
It's going to be a battle. And I'll be introducing my players soon, and we're going to see what is hitting on. We're going to see what is hitting on. You ready, Perry? You ready for the next one? I'm ready to learn some more vocabulary.
I just want to know, are you done or is you finished?
I was just trying to give Givens his just due. I wanted to make sure that
I
he got his just due.
It sounds good.
It doesn't look like you. It doesn't look like you did your research. So I had to give him his accolades and then let him know that despite all those wonderful accolades, you know, there's no I in team. It's a collective. It's a collective football team. 11 players on the field. You know, despite all of that, Jackson State has still been able to hand out those L's as he was here at Southern.
Mm-hmm. Well, you do it so well. I like when you read it off. Thank you.
Yeah, I gotta help you. I gotta help you out. You know, facts, not feelings.
Well, you know it is what it is. It's your show, so I'd rather, since you wanna, there won't be no over talking me, and you won't do not up in here. It's best that you do read it in. How about you give me some information about Joshua Griffin? Let's see what you got. Because see, the difference is you got to look it up. Where's your homework at?
I mean, it's not my person. Why would I be?
I thought you covered the SWAC.
That's you're supposed to be representing for Southern. You're supposed to be putting on. You have your 3 players. You're supposed to be talking about them. So now my advice for you is to go to Southern's football roster, look up Joshua Griffin so you can read his stats while you over here running your mouth.
Well, I'm cool on all that. I'll give you an overview who he is, and then if you got some free time, you can go back and look at his stats, or you can. It's your show. You can read the stats for the people. You asked me for 3 players. These are the 3 players, and I'm giving overviews. I'm not here to give you a biography. Clearly, you like to hear yourself talk. So if you want to go through and read the biography, more than welcome to, because that's what people come on here to do.
The amount of times that you spend talking this noise, you could have already introduced Joshua Griffin and all his greatness.
Joshua Griffin, here we go. Woo! You like confrontation. Damn, I see. I typically try, and then you're a woman, so I'm trying to be respectful to you being a woman. I mean, I don't go back and forth with
just
women.
Talking football, that's all. I'm just talking
all right, well, let's talk some football. Let's talk about Joshua Griffin on the special team side. He struggled early on in that first game against McNeese, had a kick that was blocked, and it really was not blocked. Just a line drive right into the back of the lineman's back, went about 40 yards the opposite direction. And this is when that game began to snowball for Southern against McNeese and give McNeese great field position within the red zone. 7 points they got after this. And one thing I saw in that game early on, and we're talking about in pre-games, going through those kicks, I saw about 6 straight kicks he did not make with the rain and wind at McNeese. It kind of gave you a foreshadow of that's what the day was going to look like, and it pretty much exactly what the day looked like. But then you look at last week. He is the reason Southern was able to get 9 points early on before T-Set was able to turn on his offense. He made his first 3 field goals in this ball game, and one of them from a distance of 49 yards. The reason why I like Joshua Griffin, is this kid has the range. He can kick it from 50 yards to more deep, And you hardly ever see that around in the SWAC where a guy can do that with accuracy. And because of that, with the kicking distance and the foot power, this is why he's one of the guys that I say you have to watch in this game. Because if Southern's offense with his freshman quarterback does begin to struggle, but able to get on the other side of the 50, this kid right here is able to put up points for Southern and at least keep the game around to where you can tack on 3 points if you're not able to get into the end zone.
So just so I am on the same page as you, is this the kicker? Or no, he wasn't the one that kicked it back into the end zone, was it? That wasn't him.
That was the punter.
That was your punter. That was your punter. Okay, I was just making sure. I was like, dang, I know you're not rating him a 93. So let's, once again, I want to make sure that people have a great overview of who this young man is, So I'm going to have to, go ahead and read it, because Perry ain't got it. It's okay. I got you, Joshua.
You got
Griffin.
Because you want to
I don't got Perry. I got Joshua Griffin. So he's 6'2", 180 pounds. He's a senior, so he has what we call experience. He's from Vicksburg, Mississippi. Okay, from the SIP. He went to Warren Central High School. He's the 2023 SWAC Specialist of the Week. Let's look at his career. In 2022, he played in 12 games, 6 field goals, 36 points after touchdown for a total of 54. 2023, 7 field goals, 30 points after a touchdown for a total of 51. 2024, he's played in 2 games, 3 field goals, 4 points after touchdown for a total of 13. And being as Southern is not going to be able to score any touchdowns on Saturday, we're going to expect for him to have some big numbers because Southern's not going to be able to get into the red zone, not going to be able to get any touchdowns. So he's going to be needing to be ready for all those field goals. Okay? Mr. Ford, what do you think about Southern special teams?
I think that Alcorn regrets they let that young man get away. He's special. Because he was at Alcorn first, right? Didn't he come from Alcorn?
Perry, didn't he come from Alcorn? Or you don't know?
You've been yelling and fussing and reading. I'm going to let you tell it. You got it down pat. You go ahead. You let Mr. Ford know. I'm just sitting back listening.
So that means you don't know.
I'm just listening to you. I'm enjoying you right now. You want to read everything. I can tell who raised their hand first when the teacher said who want to read. It was you. You go ahead. Read it off. What does it say since you do so much great research?
Mr. Ford, he doesn't know.
Yeah, I think he came
You don't
from
know. Just say you
Alcorn.
don't know.
You know that school you just called out. You said Warren Central. Did you say that?
Yep, Warren Central High School. He's from Vicksburg.
Listen, that school has turned out some tremendous athletes.
Somebody in the chat.
You had a guy at Jackson State named, was it Brian Dart?
No, Perry didn't know. Help him out.
I think he came from Warren Central.
You got on black Air Force Ones or white? Perry, you wear black Air Forces or white?
Is that a wig or is that weave?
This is a sew-in, baby. It's sew-in. It is well, this part right here is my hair. Yeah, I have long hair. Protective style. It looks good, don't it?
If the people like it, then you love
it. It's about your length. What you got? About 18 inches in there? You be cutting your dreads off and sewing them back in. What you do? What's your hair regimen look like?
What your hair braided up under there?
It
You got
is.
some cornrows under there?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, okay. Next one show, you should just come on here as you. You ain't got to do all that stuff that come on as you. Cornrows and all. You know, let the people see you.
Yes. Let them see me. Let them see me. I come on here all the time, just me. No lashes, no makeup, no nothing. All right. So,
Mr. Ford, what's wrong with her?
It doesn't look like
listen, guys, listen.
It doesn't see.
I got to be in class in the morning. I'm gonna have to let y'all go.
All right, Mr. Ford. Thank you for coming.
You coming back Saturday, right?
Of course, we have to do the after
Okay.
show.
Well, listen, Perry, I'm trying to catch you Saturday morning now.
Come on over. Check me out.
Okay. Yeah. Y'all have a good night.
All right.
So, well, thank you so much,
me
Mr. Ford, for coming on. I'm going to go ahead and set the stage and set the platform and represent, of course, you know, as everybody should. You know, I want to represent. So I'm going to go ahead and play this little interlude right here. I do have my, if you would like to make a donation to the channel, all of that information is at the top of the screen, and it is also at the bottom as well. Thank you so much for investing in my channel. And we will be right back after we hear this band play for the Jackson State players. I just had to go ahead and take my seat as well. So I know you called us ghetto earlier, but that thing with the chairs on the track, is that tradition, or you guys don't have enough space, or is that supposed to be like a rattle for the J sets? Like, can you explain to me why you guys have those chairs right there?
Y'all brought them chairs. Y'all supposed to be in the stands. That's what y'all want.
There's no room.
Your dancers sit on the field, on the track. That's what y'all did. Since you want to make it ghetto, y'all brought y'all own chairs for the track.
But like, why? Why you guys don't have enough space? All right. If you are tuning in, thank you so much. Go ahead and hit the like button. If you would also please subscribe to my channel. We are here for the Southern Hate Week. It's SheLovesThee versus none other than Perry White. He just shared his 3 Impact players, and I'm getting ready to share mine. Okay, so let me exit out of Sudden's stuff. Let me exit out of it. You know,
I didn't know you was this funny.
I didn't know that you
I didn't
were
know.
not this funny. I didn't know. Nobody told me.
I had no clue.
You was on Ken's show. I don't know what you said, but all I know is you said something, and then he sent you to the gulag. That's my first time.
Talking about last year?
That's my first time. I don't know. That's the only time that I've actually, you know, seen you.
Well, you should watch me more. Maybe you'll learn something and get to know me better. Cause this I think this
if your show is anything like how you're presenting now, it'll be
anything like how I'm presenting.
Yeah, it'll be a little rough.
People watch this for entertainment. I can tell it ain't to learn. It ain't to get no information. It's for
you said I was. You said I was raising my hand and reading all the different. That's entertaining. Learning about stats.
I know what you are. You are what you call news. You only can read off the teleprompter, but when you ask,
so is it entertaining or is it news? Which one is it?
Entertaining news is what you are.
Okay, well, maybe
read
you
off
should
the
try
teleprompter.
it.
You need the teleprompter to help you keep going, and that's what you
maybe
base it
you
off
should
of.
try
Everything else that you base off that is the funny joke, because you really are funny. Like, you have jokes. I like the flow. I'm enjoying this. I like the banter. You got good banter.
Anybody want to know if I'm tired of talking mess about Southern? Here's my answer. I'm not tired yet. I'm not tired.
Good choice of the Mississippi Mass Choir. How about that?
All right, so
you grew up in the church.
My 3 Impact players for tonight. I'm going to start off with none other. I know you got to laugh to keep from crying, baby. You got to laugh to keep from crying. You ain't going to let no woman stage you up in football, are you?
God, dog.
You're not letting a woman show you up in football now, is you?
No, I'm just sitting here laughing with a woman. That's what a man's supposed to do. Have a good time, ain't that right? Unless you got masculine traits about
Let's talk about Jacobian Morgan. So I have him rated an overall 92. Jacobian Morgan has the throwing power. He's good at throwing under pressure, and he has that mobility and dual threat aspect that you need in a quarterback. Now, we're going to go ahead and go over some of his stats, and we can see what it truly means to be what we call a dual threat quarterback, right? Not just 12 yards, you know, in one game, right? Playing half a game, which Jacobian Morgan played half a game too. Actually, Jacobian Morgan was actually QB2 against Lane this past week. He did not play a full game. And on the 3rd and 4th quarter, they reduced it from 15 minutes to 10 minutes and a running clock. So he was playing less time, and he had less time for those running plays, right? So we're going to look at what it means to be a dual threat quarterback with less time and not starting as the quarterback, you know, just coming in kind of like what Tissette did the other day. You know, he came in. All right. So Jacobian Morgan, 6'4", 227 pounds. He's a junior from Canton, Mississippi. His previous school was Syracuse. He's from Canton High School. In 2023, he played in 6 games, completed 82 of 123 passes for 842 yards. He finished with 10 touchdowns and 1 interception, recorded a season-long pass of 70 yards, averaged 140.3 yards per game passing. He ran the ball 56 times for 150 yards and 6 touchdowns. Yes. Ran for a season-long 32 yards on 1 play. Averaged 25 yards per game on the ground. Finished with a career high 373 yards on 26 of 36 passing with 5 touchdowns and an interception against UAPB. He threw for 3 touchdowns against Alcorn State, and he ran for a season high 170 yards on 14 carries against Mississippi Valley State. He played at Syracuse as a true freshman. Not many quarterbacks get to play as true freshmen on the D1 FBS level, right? So Jacobian Morgan is absolutely going to be a integral part of the offense on Saturday. He's going to be a leader. And I'm excited to see what he has in store. What do you think? Do you have any rebuttals for me regarding Jacobian Morgan?
No, I like Jacobian Morgan. I'm not going to lie. I saw when he came in last year, took over the offense from Jason Brown, who I think a lot of Jackson State fans was high on coming into the season, especially after that big victory over South Carolina State in the MEAC SWAC Challenge. But Jacobian Morgan gave the offense a little bit more dynamic because, as you said before, it is his dual threat quarterback ability. And I believe because of that, it opens Jackson State's offense up a lot more. So I don't have anything against Jacobian Morgan. I think he's a hell of an athlete. He's a guy that can beat you with his legs or his arm. For me, though, it's just the consistency of his arm. And I think when you talk about that, that's pretty much every quarterback that you look at right now across the SWAC landscape. Who can be the most consistent? Right now, look like Dylan Richardson at Florida A&M. But who's going to be that next quarterback to step up in this league? Jacobian Morgan, I think, has all the attributes. It's just will Jackson State lean on him and allow him to flourish? And we're talking about throughout the entire 4 quarters of a game. But the backup is just as good as well. And so I like Morgan. If you want a chance to win, I think Morgan is a guy that puts you in a position to win because of his dual threat ability. But also the backup has the dual threat ability as well.
And just to let you guys know that through 2 games, ULM and Lane won an FBS and then won a D2 school. Jacobian Morgan's passing completion percentage is 81.8%. The highest.
That's pretty good. I mean, he's 32 of 38, 378 yards, 3 touchdowns, and an interception. That's pretty good through 2 games of the season and coming into this game. So that's why I say this kid right here, he's proven. That's why he took over this position last year. So I think he could be a proven leader for this team. But right now it seems TC Taylor is trying to see who is the hotter hand, what guy gives him the better chance. Because one thing, this game is a non-conference game, right? So this still is opportunity to figure it out, to tweak it. And regardless if it's against a rival in a heated game, you still have time to figure out who you want to lead and who gives you the best opportunity when it comes to the chemistry or offense before you get into SWAC conference play.
So when you point out that it's a non-conference game, is that because you're expecting to lose, but you know it won't count against you in SWAC play?
No, I'm saying that because that's what the 2 teams agreed to play each other, even though we rotated off each other's schedule. So because you guys decided to still want to play, it is a non-conference game is why I'm saying that.
Okay. All right. I like that fact that you read out Jacobian's stats. I wish you would have done it for your players, but thank you for reading that. Thank you. And moving right along, we have Matt Noll in the house. Now, when you talk about special teams, we have our new special teams coach, Javancy Jones, of course, Jackson State football player alum. And, you know, if it's one thing that we know, special teams can be that difference maker in a game. It's just a given that the special teams is the key ingredient to a team. And Matt Noll is able to flip a field. And this is going to be paramount in this game because we need to pin Southern on their own red zone, possibly get a couple of safeties, you know. The defense is able to work with more field. So the ability of him, his kick power and kick accuracy, he's an overall automatically 95, right? This is when we talk about a game changer. Matt Noll is that and everything else. I actually had Matt Noll on last year for the 3 players that I chose. I chose Matt Noll as well last year, and nothing else has changed. Matt Noll is 6 foot, 200 pounds. He's a graduate student from Robesonia, Pennsylvania. His previous school was Delaware State, along with Esaias Guthrie. They both, and I want to say our running back came from there too. But he went so many different places. But I think he came from there too. Savion Wilkerson, I want to say, came from Delaware State, if I remember correctly. But a little bit about Matt Noll. He was named second team All-SWAC punter, recorded 34 punts for 1,507 total yards, averaged 44.32 yards per punt. He recorded a 65-yard punt last year, finished this season with 3 touchbacks and a pair of fair catches, had 12 punts land inside the 20, and recorded 10 punts over 50 yards. Before Jackson State, preseason box score, HBCU All-American, preseason All-MEAC first team, Delaware State, box score, HBCU All-American first team and All-American first team punter, tops in the MEAC in punting with a 40.4 average, 11 punts of 50 yards or more, including a long of 64 yards, placed 16 kicks inside the opponent's 20-yard line, also nailed his lone field goal attempt with 25 yards and was 13 for 14 on extra point kicks. So when we talk about Matt Noll and everything that he was named to the FCS Punter of the Year Award preseason watch list. He earned a place on the Field Still preseason All-SWAC teams. This right here is going to be a difference maker, obviously, in the game. Perry, do you have anything you want to say?
Yeah, looking at Matt Noll, he is a premier special team specialist when you look around the SWAC. Last week, only 2 punts for about 80 yards, but you got to look back to game 1 against ULM. 4 punts for 202 yards, 1 inside the 20. Of those, his longest punt of the day was 57 yards. He's a guy that is a game changer when you say and flip the field and having to force opposing offenses to drive the entire length of the field. This guy right here can put you down within the 10 or even the 1-yard line. That's the type of ability that he has, one of the premier punters, I think, not just in the SWAC, but all of HBCU and, like you said before, FCS football as well.
Yes, this is Matt's last year. Last but not least, Mr. Fortillen. I feel like he was a secret weapon for Jackson State, right? Kind of like a hidden gem on the team. And I feel like this is going to be his breakout year. And the reason why I say that is because as a 6'5", 220-pound receiver with the impressive wingspan, I feel like he's it, right? He hails from Dr. Phillips High School in Orlando, Florida. He's been on the team. overall 89. He has the speed and acceleration, body control, and agility in the soft hands. And I know that a lot of you saw that one-hander that he pulled out of the air against ULM. Great, great ball handling. I feel like if we're going to talk about players that are on the team and the difference that they can make, you know, we have a stout wide receiver room. All of our team is pretty much stacked at every position, right? There's not one position that I can just go to and just name one person. He's a redshirt sophomore. His hometown is from Orlando, Florida. You know, they said those Florida boys got the speed. He played wide receiver in high school while also competing on the track team. He had offers from Florida State, Indiana, Illinois, Miami, Mississippi State, Pittsburgh, and UCF. This was a prime recruit, right? So he redshirted in 2021. In 2022, he did not see any action. So he's been grinding, honing his craft. And in 2023, he played in 7 games, recorded 4 receptions for 33 yards with 1 touchdown, recorded a season-high 2 receptions against Mississippi Valley State with 25 yards and a touchdown, recorded a reception against Texas State and UAPB, ran the ball 1 time for 11 yards against Mississippi Valley State. I just feel like this year is absolutely going to be his year. I feel that. Like, I really feel that. His longest reception was 41 yards at ULM, and he had 51 yards at ULM. I just feel like this is it right now. Like, this is going to be his breakout year. So that's my player that I have. And that concludes my 3. Do you have anything you want to say?
Good job.
Let me just go ahead and drop this link. So Griffin is the coldest kicker in the SWAC. I want to say that Gerardo Baeza has more kicks than him, but I could be wrong. I think Gerardo actually scored more points than him this weekend too, but I could be wrong about that too. They said Wilkerson did come from Delaware State. Okay. All right, so I went ahead and I dropped the information, the StreamYard in the chat for anybody who has something that they want to say or if they feel they want to add. Let me see this. The conversation.
You want to have? Can we have a conversation? Can you and I have a conversation?
I would love to have a conversation.
When did you first? And this honest, like I ain't trying to be. When did you first started paying attention to SWAC football, like becoming a fan of the SWAC and the football? Like, at what age did you get introduced to this?
Always watched football, you know. I just happened to be at a time in my life where I can enjoy it a little bit more and I can use my talents to talk about it. I've always watched football and loved football.
No, I'm asking, like, were you brought to games?
TJ.
Was you brought to games as a kid? Like, I went to games as a kid, so I was asking, like, did you get this from being a kid? Was it when you got to college?
To Jackson State. I got introduced to HBCU football. So that would be Lincoln University, which is in Jefferson City, Missouri. That's my introduction to HBCUs. And I decided to come to Jackson State and go to school. And so that's where I was introduced to HBCU football.
You from Missouri?
Yeah.
What part of Missouri are you from?
Now you asking too many questions. What that got to do? Is this an interview?
Well, I'm talking to you. You said you wanted to have a conversation. I thought
you said about football. Now you're trying to ask for my address and stuff. What we doing?
No, I just thought you was a woman of substance. I was trying to get to know because I don't know your background. The same way you said
you don't need to know my substance. All you need to know
much about you.
We ain't gotta know about each other.
What is this? Where did you come from? And you know, you a Jackson State fan. I don't have a problem. I started with the SWAC. My mom took me to SWAC games. My mom went to UAPB. So when they joined the SWAC, I remember going to the SWAC, seeing Jackson and everybody else. So I was just curious for you, when did it start for you? And then at what age did you like, you know what, I like this. You know what, I'll go to Jackson State. Now I'm at Jackson State. I actually pay attention and go to the games. You know what, I really want to know who that player is, who's that coach. You know, that's all I'm asking, like the love of wanting to talk sports.
So I started my channel after Prime exited, and I just evolved from there. I've always known about football, always kept up with stuff.
Yeah.
TJ, how you doing?
All right, how you doing?
Good. I love that you came up on the panel. What you got to say?
Yeah, man. You know we got Perry on here, man, talking about this Southern crap, man. He you know you know they got a man of their own down there in Baton Rouge.
I ain't even
But
said nothing about Southern. That's what I'm saying. Y'all delusional yourselves. What
no,
have I said about Southern?
it just you represented that's all.
Yeah, that's all, because I've been listening to her for on this live a little over an hour or so. I just been sitting back letting her do the talk. I ain't said nothing.
All right, now this is the question I gotta ask you though, Perry. So I went back and I watched the game against McNeese and Savannah State. From a rate 1 to 5, what do you rate your offensive coordinator?
From 1 to 5, what do I rate Mark Fredericks in terms of his play calling currently?
Yeah, as far as his play calling.
Considering the situation, 2.5 to a 3. For me, I think with Noah Biden as the quarterback, if you looked at those games, you saw plays there. You saw receivers open. It was just a matter of him not keeping his eyes up the field and a matter of him rolling out and then wanting to run. If you go back and look at it, the plays where their receivers were open. Now, on a couple of those plays, especially against McNeese, I have to go back and fault the receivers. We're talking about drop passes, and as well as I saw the tight end with a drop pass. But nonetheless, plays were there. So I can't, because the offense didn't seem to produce the way that I think the fans initially wanted. I can't put it all on Fredericks, because if you go back and look at the film, it was just a simple part of Noah Biden not getting the ball out of his hands and looking uncomfortable as a quarterback. Did not seem like he had the confidence to want to release the ball. And we all know, as a quarterback, 3 to 4 seconds max before you got to go, right? Especially in this RPO world that we live in today in college football. And really, 4 seconds is too long. But Noah Biden just does not look comfortable. He does not keep his eyes up the field. He's looking short, and a lot of times he's looking for a running lane. And even in the running lanes, he's running right into the tackles. Yeah. You know, so I just think I'm not going to put all that on Mark Fredericks. You saw it open up with T-Set coming into the game. The receivers was there. T-Set was able to then take and make those throws, which we call the explosion plays, 20 yards or more, as well as start feeding the ball off to the tight end. To me, that's going to be the most beneficial thing for Southern University. Using his tight end, Southern has a tight end room coached by Fred McNair that I think, hands down, the way that they're looking right now, maybe one of the best tight end rooms in the conference. And if T-Set as a young quarterback becomes uncomfortable with looking down the field, everybody knows when it comes to offense, a tight end is a quarterback's best friend. You dump it off and you let the big guy make the plays. He's not hard to miss. He's a very big target, and it's hard to take him down. And I think for Southern, you will start to see a lot more tight ends, the tight end play being incorporated, especially with a young quarterback, to be able to be a quarterback-friendly offense for a young guy.
Okay, so I ask you that because I'm a challenge you. I'm gonna challenge you on something that I've seen that in order for Southern to win this game against Jackson State, he gonna have to be different. He gonna have to really study the defenses because okay, I'm gonna give you a play from each school. Now, why would you be in the red zone, right, or over the 50, and Savannah State and McNeese ran cover one single high safety. Why would you why would you pass instead of run the ball?
Well, I'm not the
Like,
offensive coordinator. I told you I gave him a 2.5. I didn't give him a 5. I gave him a 2.5 to a 3. Now, when it comes to decision making, does every coordinator make the right decisions? Does everything seem to fall in line of what everybody's going to agree upon? No, it's not, of course. I cannot give you an explanation on why he wanted to pass the ball. I don't
mm,
have anything for you.
yeah. And for you and for the freshmen, uh I'm gonna tell you this. Jackson State gonna cause a lot of confusion with him because one thing about it, Southern don't play to his strengths, and he's not accurate with a deep ball. He's not gonna beat Jack State trying to throw it deep. You can cancel Christmas with that. So they gonna really have to really work with him to his strengths. Like, what is it that you like to do, and just focus on that because he playing against better competition. You know what I'm saying? And me knowing Jack State, I'm knowing they gonna have him running. He ain't gonna be able to sit back there.
I think
So
that
do
was Yeah, I feel what you're saying because that's what comes with a young quarterback in this situation. I think that's the question mark everybody's looking for in Southern's offense. When you got a young quarterback like T-Set who has the ability to make those plays, but the number one thing about a quarterback and ability is about processing those plays. That's
right.
what it's going to come down to T-Set in this game, processing. It's not going to be the ability. It's going to be processing what happens out there. What do you do as you go through your progression? Do you go to the check down? Do you look for the deep ball? Are you trying to make the big play every time? Unfortunately, on the other side, that was the issue with Noah Biden. Noah Biden wanted to make the big play every time, and when the big play wasn't there, he froze up because his processing. That's what you want to see out of T-Set, being a young guy, getting his first opportunity, his first start on the road, nonetheless. That's always tough. I don't care who you are as a quarterback. When
Right.
you're a young guy and you get your first start on the road, there's a lot to process. And not only that, you're going to be playing against a team that's going to be ready to knock your head off. Neither one of these teams like each other, fan bases, bands. So all of that plays into effect. The name of the game is processing and remaining calm. He's going to make mistakes. No doubt about it. He's a freshman quarterback coming in. Plus, he's just a quarterback, period. Quarterbacks make mistakes. T-Set's thing in this game, what he's going to have to live off of, keep the ball out of the other team's hands. Limit the turnovers and manage the game the way that you need to. You don't have to be Superman. You don't have to make the big play. If the explosive play is there, if a receiver is deep, you hit him. Other than that, you hit your tight end and your short intermediate routes. You manage because remember, you got a run game behind you. You got Kendrick Grimes, you got Kobe Dillon. You have a balanced offense. It's not a situation where he has to do Mr. Everything for this offense. He has weapons around him. If he processes it, remains cool, even through his mistakes, because he's gonna make them, I think he'll be all right.
Okay. So
How you doing, Coach? Hang on just a second, TJ, because we have a couple more people that are also
okay.
on the panel, and I want to give them a chance to ask a question. How you doing, Coach? 67 Sports TV.
Oh, I'm blessed and highly favored. How y'all doing this evening?
Good.
Well, I mean, from my perspective, I think some valid points have been made, but like Mr. Perry Daniels was saying, shout out to him. I love the Jaguar Journal, but Zay is a better option than Noah Biden was because, I said this in my spring breakdown. I think the issue with Zay in the spring game was, his footwork and his mechanics. They lacked because I saw him since he was at Scotlandville High School. But from that point to this point, he's progressed. Whereas Noah, really and truly, I don't see no real progression in Noah. Really going back to the Bayou Classic, truthfully speaking. So I think Zay gives Southern a better choice at the quarterback position. In terms of the running back, of course, you have a full running back room with Kendrick Grimes, with Kobe Dillon, with C.J. Russell. The defense been lights out. They played well this past week against Savannah State. They played exceptionally well against McNeese State week 1. I was upset that we had to sit in the rain and basically the offense and special teams really let us down. But at the end of the day, truthfully speaking, I think with Zed quarterback, with Kendrick Grimes and Kobe Dillon and C.J. Russell at running back, I think as a Jaguar fan, the only thing that really concerned me is the offensive line play is not what it was in the past when you had individuals like Jatari Carter and Jeremiah Black and Dallas Stafford and Kendrick Baptiste and like all of those hogs up front where you could just, lean on teams and pound the rock and basically run the ball even against their will and just, be able to just be physical and aggressive. Looking at week 1 against McNeese, Kobe Dillon, he ran the ball early. He ran the ball well, but seemed like as the game progressed, we couldn't run the ball the way we did in the past. And in addition to that, Noah, being indecisive, making poor decisions like him throwing in a double coverage in the end zone, that was a bad mistake. And then there were multiple instances where he could have took off and run, when he couldn't find his initial first couple options. Instead of him running when he had lanes to run, he just trying to force some of these passes, making poor decisions. But at the end of the day, I think it's going to be a good game. And, I think Southern going to be successful. That's just my personal opinion.
I think you got something, T?
Yeah. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this too about. Okay, I'm gonna say this about Southern. Okay, y'all do have a running game. Okay, but this is the thing with Southern. The OC isn't creative. Like if he's not creative. Like is no motion. Is nothing. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay. So me being a defense coordinator, I'm like, well, hell, if I'm knowing that they gonna just run the ball, you know what I'm saying? I might as well just stack the box. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not because I mean, like basically what I'm trying to say, yeah, Southern gonna have to make the game easy for him. You know what I'm saying? So he can read different coverages, see different things. You know what I'm saying? Like if we in man or we in zone or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, honestly, I agree 100% with that because that was one of my criticism of Mark Frederick week 1 against McNeese. Like the offense is extremely bland and vanilla at times. I mean, from a coaching standpoint, it's real predictable. I can see when they're gonna run the ball. I can see when he's gonna run a roll out or sprint pass. So I agree with you from that standpoint. Mark Frederick's offense to this point has been extremely vanilla at this point.
What's going on, everybody?
What's going on, Doc?
What's good? What's good?
Hey, I would say, Mark Frederick being the OC, he was that way when he was at Prairie View. Like he was that way. It was at Prairie View. It was basically basic vanilla. You knew what they was running. You just know what was coming. And with Southern, like I give them credit, they do have a running game. They do have a good defensive line. But the problem that the thing that I would see as far as exploiting Southern's defense is the back end. Basically just going over the top of if they playing too high safety, it's easy work. But you just got to make a game out of it.
And I mean, truthfully speaking, I agree also because in my analysis of the spring game, that's one thing I said. Like, Southern defense gave up a lot of big plays in the secondary. So, truthfully speaking, I would agree with that point also.
Yeah, and another thing too that I seen that Southern defense. See me, if I'm an offensive coordinator, me knowing how aggressive Southern D line is and how they ends don't keep containment, man, I'm gonna scream you to death till you stop it. You know what I'm saying? Like Southern defensive ends really over pursue. They really over pursue. Like you can't like it's a lot of things. You know, and the same go for Jackson State too though. You know what I'm saying? I'm not just gonna sit here and say Jackson State ain't got the same because Jackson State got the same thing that they do it too.
Oh, Tamala, you petty.
Well, that was the reason why they gave up the long one to Jaden Adams Saturday was because basically they ran his own read, and when Jaden Adams pulled it, like I think if I'm not mistaken, it was not Kendrick Grimes. I'm sorry. When Kelby Givens or whoever the end was to that side when they crashed, like they all kind of converged. It was like the equivalent to like a punt return, a muffin to punt, and everybody getting out of their lanes and the ends not containing. So once he got to the outside, that's why he was able to run the 81 yards. But really, outside of that play, defensively, that was like the only play Southern gave up, like really all of Saturday night. But of course, playing against Jackson State is coming Saturday in the Boombox Classic. It's definitely going to be a huge step up in competition. But the first 2 weeks, for the most part, defense kind of been lights out, being led by Kelby Givens.
Yeah.
Well, so for you Southernites that are on the call, if you think that you're going to be struggling offensively, possibly with the vanilla play calling, what are your keys to winning the game?
From my perspective, I think getting the ball to Kendrick Grimes, to Chandler Whitfield, to Darren Morris, basically for Zay to get the ball to the playmakers, because they've been using the tight end a lot with Dupree Fuller. I don't know when they're gonna start incorporating Ethan Howard into the offense, but Kendrick Grimes, he a playmaker. Quay Davis at some point. Like I say, Chandler Whitfield, Darren Morris had a big game. So more than anything, I think Southern have a lot of playmakers offensively. So I think Zay gonna be fine. As long as they get him settled early in the game. I'm not gonna lie, y'all saying that it's gonna be hard for Southern's offense from a passing standpoint to go over the top. I'm not gonna lie. Me personally, I think Zay kind of struggles in a short passing game. I think his passes are better from an intermediate to long standpoint because he has this funky sidearm throwing motion. He got a couple passes batted down against McNeese. So, I really wouldn't too much look for the short passing game, but exceptional when he could get Kendrick Grimes the ball out in the flats. But for the most part, I think Zay has to not turn the ball over, and I think he has to get the ball to the playmakers, and I think Southern will be fine offensively.
You got some running backs.
Yeah, Kendrick Grimes, Kobe Dillon, C.J. Russell. Yeah, Southern has running backs.
Okay.
Yeah,
Balanced offense.
Another thing too, though, that I seen.
Honestly, I think at this point they're a little bit more run heavy than pass heavy. More pass heavy. Week one, they kind of lean more on the run against McNeese, but this past week, for the most part, Kobe Dillon had 52 yards rushing, but Zay had 316 yards passing. So it was more the passing game. Even with the overthrown passes, I think he had 7 passes that he overthrew. More than anything, I think the receivers really didn't realize how much arm strength he had, and a few of them plays really wasn't his fault because they pretty much stopped running on some of them routes. So, but I think more than anything, I think, just Zay trying to get the ball to the playmakers, I think, that's really what's going to take Southern offense over the top, personally.
I got a question. When did y'all realize that Noah Bowden was not the quarterback that y'all thought he was?
This past week against Savannah State. Honestly, I think Coach Terrence Graves and Mark Frederick, I think they were a little bit more patient than I would have been from a coaching standpoint. If he'd have struggled the way he struggled early, throwing an interception, them struggling on the first 2 drives against Savannah State, I'd have gave him the hook much quicker than that. I think more than anything, I think they try to be patient with him even though he really struggled terribly against McNeese, and he struggled, for the first 2 drives against Savannah State. Me personally, I think Saturday was the time to really give him the hook, but I'd have gave him the hook much quicker than that, me personally. But, I think Coach Graves, he kind of got in his mind what he want to do, and I think he made the right move, in my opinion.
What do you think, Perry?
Well, you asking me about Noah Biden?
Yeah.
Now, what was the question for?
So when do you feel like that Noah Biden was not the right, the QB?
I mean, we're only 2 games in. I mean, Noah Biden did win the Bayou Classic last year. He had a good first half. He struggled in the second half, but Southern special team and defense pretty much closed that game out. Then when you look at the spring football, I mean, he is the guy when you look at coming in from Grambling that had experience. He started in 4 or 5 games at Grambling, coming in as a highly touted recruit out of New York. So this is a kid, when you look at him, and really not even a kid, he's the old man in the room at this point. He's been around a long time. You wanted to watch him progress and see if he'll have the ability to be able to lead the offense. I think that's why when you saw that start against McNeese, coaches looked at this kid and say, hey, there's a reason he was able to play some games at Grambling. And not only that, he has game time experience. And because of that, you saw him get that start. Now, it was his job to lose. And it wasn't nothing to take from him. He lost his job. No one went in, I don't think, in coming into the season saying no to Noah. Everybody was willing to see what Noah was able to bring to the table. Now, you go up 7-0 in a game against McNeese, and you're up for 3 quarters. Southern needed some form of offense, and he had an interception in double coverage in the corner of the end zone in that ball game, which is an absolute horrible play by Noah for even throwing it there. Either throw it away, check down, or just run and take what you can get. But that interception was costly. That was one of those interceptions Southern couldn't get any points out of from the special teams if they weren't able to score because they were in the red zone. But then when you come against a team like Savannah State, Southern's first play out the gate was a 2-back set coming out of the shotgun. They handed off to Kendrick Grimes. Kendrick Grimes picks up a first down. And then Mark Fredrickson, his play call started to go to the horizontal passing game, not the vertical, horizontal to the outside. 2 plays that did not work. One skipped in the ground by Noah. The other one just simply, the defender was there. The issue was, as Noah continued to progress and you saw the play calling get a little bit more aggressive in those first 4 possessions in that game against Savannah State, you saw receivers open down the field and you simply saw Noah, as we like to say, nut up, right? Did not seem comfortable to let the ball out of his hand. And then at that point, receivers then broke the routes. And by that point, that 4 seconds in the pocket, 3 to 4 seconds over, Noah's uncomfortable and he takes off running. He continuously did that. He ran into tackles as a quarterback, not finding open lanes. He had one big play, one long run against Savannah State in which he broke it all the way down. But other than that, it just did not produce any offense. Now, out of 4 drives, you get 9 points, and then you start to look at this quarterback, and you say, if we can't drive it on Savannah State with this guy who has a big arm and not using it, then what do we do? And what I like about this coaching staff compared to last year, what we dealt with Eric Dooley for 2 years, was not giving another guy a try. But Sean McCray in 2022, he rolled with him, and he said in front of everybody and made it seem like there's no other good quarterback on this roster. Then we saw what happened in the SWAC championship when he finally decided to make that quarterback change. He comes back the next year, Harold Blood Jr., right? Harold Blood struggles against Alabama State. He struggles against Jackson State in the first 2 games. Then he has a somewhat decent game against Alabama A&M by the time you get to that 3rd game. But still, nonetheless, as the season progressed, fans wanted to see, give another guy a shot. He did not do it. I think that's what gives Southern's fan hope this year. The fact that this coaching staff is saying, all right, if this guy can't get it done, we're not going to live and die with him. We're going to go to the next man up and give another guy an opportunity. And that's what I like about this. So it wasn't about not knowing Noah Biden was not the guy. He had to show us. It was his job to lose. And because he got out there and he did what he did against Savannah State, he lost his job and T-Set was the next man up. And because of T-Set's performance, he took the job from Noah Biden.
Yeah.
You let a freshman took his spot.
Yeah.
It happens. It's football, man.
It's crazy though.
Really, a redshirt freshman, really, it was being technical.
Yeah,
True, but but in other folks' eyes, when you on, they don't care about red shirt. They see freshmen. They see freshmen.
And we say freshman, she said, yeah, sophomore, because he goes to class, right? Gotta stay
Yep.
eligible. But when I talked about dual threat, and she said, well, where's the dual threat at? This kid has not touched the field. He touched the field just a tad bit last year. It was a run play. It was nothing to it. And then you come in within the last, 4 minutes in the game against McNeese State. And then you come in and finally get your opportunity against Savannah State. I mean, that's the part of the growing pains of a young quarterback who has the lack of experience on the field, has not played in quite some time since being recruited out of high school. You have to give this kid game time experience. That's the only way you're going to be able to learn. You can be one hell of a practice quarterback, in which I believe, in my opinion, Noah Biden is one hell of a practice quarterback. But it's when the lights come on. It's when the game is in play. A lot of that stuff that you do at practice is now on the quarterback. And you either that dog or you not. T-Set, to me, gives me that ability to say he's that dog. He's a guy that if it has to be won, he will win it. But once again, that's growing into that. I don't expect an all-world performance in his first start on the road at Jackson State.
Well, I mean, something that, red shirt freshmen that have excelled and done well, guys like, Bryant Lee, Dre Joseph. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, just because he's a young quarterback, I mean, that doesn't mean he really can't be successful. I mean,
well, I say that to the point that you getting your first start against Jackson State on the road. We all know records don't matter. We all know that this is a game that's the intensity is on another level. And so that's the only reason I'm making that statement to this point of this start. Had he got his first start against Savannah State, those reps matter. But those reps in a game like this, Southern and Jackson State's defense are both 1 and 2 in the conference right now. So that just lets you know the type of day that is going to be for him, that Jackson's D-line is going to get after him. And as I keep hearing about, Jackson's secondary is going to make it a tough day for him to make those passes deep. That's why I say for Mark Frederick, simplify this. If the deep pass is there for the explosive play, T-Set knows when to take it. But if you got the short intermediate routes that are in play, you take those. And as I said before, Southern's tight end room right now is any quarterback's best friend in this conference. The athletic ability that Southern's tight ends right now currently have are just simple dump-off passes, and you let those guys take it from there. That's 5 yards a pop if you're able to just do that. Nickel and diamond down the field. 5 yards off a pass to the tight end, and then you got 2 running backs who can give you another 4 or 5 apiece. That's how simple you can keep this game, along with the legs of T-Set too, because as a defense, you're going to have to respect him. If not, he will get past you and make a big play to extend plays and drives.
Yeah, because he did a lot of running when he was at Scotlandville High, and, you bring up a valid point, Mr. Perry Daniels. I mean,
Perry White.
I'm sorry, Perry White. I'm sorry. I mean, but even with that being said, Dupree Fuller, he really that guy. I mean, he played well the first couple weeks. And in addition to that, I mean, I don't know when they're going to bring Ethan Howard along, but, he another good tight end. So at the end of the day.
And you got Minor as well.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's 3 tight ends right there, so, hey.
Yeah, but this is a thing too, though. And listen, stop. Listen, that freshman, he a left-hander, bro. Please, y'all don't throw no out route, and he throw over his body. That shit gonna be pick 6. That shit gonna be pick 6 to the crib. and he did that like 2 or 3 times against Savannah, and one of them almost got picked.
Hey,
State, that shit
I
going
can
to
just
the
break
crib.
it down for you. If I put on the headset, I'll call it any way other, but I'm not the play caller. All I can do is tell you what I saw and what I've evaluated so far at this point. And what I evaluated right now, he seems to be the guy over Noah Biden. Coach Terrence Graves, though, did make a point this week in his weekly press conference, and it surprised a lot of people. He said, don't count out seeing Noah Biden in this game still. Noah Biden is not a guy that he is believed that is counted out totally out of this offense. So I think you're going to see 2 quarterbacks the same way with Jackson State in this ball game. I don't think you're just going to see one quarterback. It's not going to just be Jacobian Morgan. I think you're going to see McCoy as well in the same way on the other side. I think you're going to see Noah Biden as well as T-Set. But T-Set, of course, is going to get the start. Now it's going to be, will his nerves, will he get rattled early on? Because Jackson State, you got to believe, licking their chops as a defensive coordinator, say, we got to make this kid uncomfortable. The more we make him uncomfortable, the more we drive him out of the pocket. And if we drive him out of the pocket and this kid decides to keep laying the hat on him, eventually he'll cough it up. And that's why I say my keys for T-Set, keep the ball out of the other team's hand, whether it's by way of fumble or by way of interception. You have to play smart, keep your composure. And once again, it goes back to that big word. You have to be able to process what you see out there and take what the defense give you. You don't have to be a superhero. You just have to make plays because you have playmakers around you.
The panel, we have about 4 people on the panel. Everybody's already given their prediction in the chat. What is your prediction, Doc? What is your prediction for the game?
For Saturday.
Yeah.
My score, I got 35-10 Jackson State. You know, my whole thing is we start off fast on offense and basically, you know, be aggressive on defense. You see what we did as far as making adjustments in the towards the second half of the ULM game, and then also making the adjustments as far as on offense goes when we brought Jacobian Morgan back into the game in the second half against Lane. Basically just kind of air it out and basically just get the game over with and just head on to the house. But I think it's going to be, you know, we'll see a dogfight early in this game. But at the end of the day, I still got Jackson State 35-10.
TJ, what you got? What's your score prediction?
If we come out like how we did against ULM, we came out of the halftime, we went down there and scored quick. Oh, it can easily be a 40-point game, but I'm gonna be reasonable. I'm gonna do 20. I'm gonna do 28-10.
Yeah. Coach 67.
I think Zay gonna do a good job getting the ball to his playmakers. I think it's gonna be a dogfight early. I think Southern gonna pull it out 28-24.
For me, I am going to say that Jackson State is going to play Southern like we played Lane, and we'll probably be in mercy rule by the second half. We'll shorten the quarters, third and fourth. Instead of doing third quarter and fourth quarter, we'll knock off about 5 minutes for each one and do the running clock for you. So thank you, Simply Beautiful, for the donation to the channel. I appreciate you. If you are just now joining or you just got in here or you've been here and enjoying, we have a great discussion. It's the Boombox Classic SU Hate Week. And I have live with me Mr. Perry White, and we're just, sharing our thoughts and having a great dialogue about this rivalry football game that will be taking place. Make sure you like the channel, subscribe. If you would like to, I do have memberships available as well for the football season. I'm definitely going to be bringing on some other people from other schools whenever we play them in that week. Perry, what do you think the score is going to be?
You know, I look at this ball game between both these teams, and although it's a rivalry of two teams who hate each other, have a storied history. These are two programs that really mirror each other right now. Whether anybody wants to agree with me or not, these are two teams that I think are going to rely heavily on special teams and defense and try to find their way as SWAC play starts with offense. You look at Jackson State right now, offense ranked 4th in the conference, right? Only averaging 360 yards a game, 9 touchdowns total scored on the season right now. Southern, on the other end, 3rd in the SWAC. Once again, 3rd and 4th between these two teams. And you look at Southern, 376 total yards of offense out of 6 touchdowns. Then go on the defensive side. Once again, why I say these two teams mirror each other, first and second. Jackson State second in the conference right now, giving up an average of 221 yards per game, 5 touchdowns they've given up so far on the season. And Southern University with the #1 defense in this conference right now at 168 yards given up on the season with 4 touchdowns. When you look at the rushing side right now, both these teams have struggled running the ball. Southern University, when you look at rushing, is 4th in the conference. Jackson State, 5th in the conference. Then that sounds like a mirror once again between two teams. Southern averaging 128 yards, Jackson State averaging 121 yards per game. And then on the defensive side, Southern's run defense right now, 2nd in the conference, only giving up an average of 107 rushing yards a game. Jackson State 6th, right in the middle of the pack of the entire conference right now, giving up an average of 139 yards. And then this is the area where you guys were talking about the passing game, right? 2 quarterbacks we've seen for both teams so far this season. Southern is 3rd in the conference right now in passing, averaging 247 yards a game. Jackson State right now 5th in the conference, only averaging 238 passing yards a game. Both of them have kind of struggled getting the ball into the end zone, but guess what? It's only 2 games going into the 3rd game. Now you look at the defensive side. Once again, I talk about these teams mirror each other. Jackson State and Southern 1 and 2 in pass defense. Southern's defense, passing defense, only giving up 61 yards so far, and for Jackson State, 81 yards. I think when you look at both these teams, you got to look and say somebody's going to have to be able to take this lead. And both these teams look like they headed in both right the same direction. There's a lot to grow from this season, trying to figure out the quarterback position, but I think they're going to ride and die with their defenses. And in this one, I'm going to go with Southern University in this one. On the road, I think they get it done 24-17 against Jackson State.
So I love how you said that Southern and Jackson State mirror each other. So I'm just going to, I'm going to put a little bit of context to this. So Jackson State played an FBS team, ULM, whereas Southern played a D2 team and McNeese. And McNeese State, by all accounts, not that good of a team. Not that good of a team. I want to say last year they won maybe 1 game.
Via forfeit.
Yeah, they were 1 and 10. They was 1 and 10 overall last year. So I think it's kind of like when you're playing Madden, right? You have difficulty, right? So Southern's difficulty was on what is that? Freshman, easy. Which one is it?
I think when you're talking about FCS matchup, right?
Right. You said that we mirror each other, but the level of difficulty, I just put a little bit of context to it. That's all.
And I totally get it, right? You're talking about the level of competition in week 1. Nonetheless, when you look at McNeese State, over nearly 50 new guys transferred into that program, including their quarterback, Clifton McDowell, who last year was on a national championship contending team in Montana, right? He comes over into that program. Now, don't get me wrong. McNeese State is not the same team that you see this year as they were last year. It was Southern's game to win, and Southern let that game get away from it because it's 3 phases to every game. There's offense, defense, and special teams. Southern had opportunities, but when you look at 2 botched special teams play, a blocked field goal and a punt, the snap goes over the punter head, teams like that bash on you once you give them opportunities to be able to get back in the game. And both times, Southern's defense had to hold them within the red zone. They got the ball on the 3-yard line one time and then about the 25-30 the other time. It was easy pickings for them after you've held them the entire game to go short field for those touchdowns. Nonetheless, I would not take McNeese as a slouch. The week before they played Southern, they pushed number 25 FCS Tarleton State to the brink of almost a defeat. They lost 26-23. I know there's no comparison to FBS to FCS, but I still think you have to have some form of respect because this still is an FCS opponent. It ain't like they were a slouch. They come out of the Southland. The Southland traditionally has had success no matter how good the teams were the previous year or how bad they are within that current year. They have currently had success against the SWAC. So I think regardless if you're looking at ULM and you're looking at McNeese, no, they're not the same, but it still was a formidable opponent.
Yeah, because ULM, they actually played UAB, the team that Alcorn played against, and they didn't score a touchdown. I think they only scored 3 points that particular game, a field goal, and they demolished UAB. I think actually Jackson State put up more points on ULM. No. Let me take that back. Oh yeah. So UAB Blazers went against ULM, and the score was 6-32. So Jackson State put up more points against ULM than UAB, which is another FBS team. So it's an interesting topic when we talk about whether or not teams are on the same level. But you know what? That's why the games are played in the trenches. The game is going to be played on Saturday. And at that point, we're going to be able to see where Jackson State is at in the SWAC and where Southern is at. I think that this is I'm going to mute everybody because I hear some type of like pushback or whatever. I don't know. Okay. So I feel like this game right here, it's what we've all been looking for, because regardless of the fact that it's a non-conference game, it's still SWAC versus SWAC. So we need to, by that measure, see SWAC West versus SWAC East. And this game right here is going to tell us everything that we need to know. Jackson State did a phenomenal job against Lane. At ULM, I felt like we did a phenomenal job out the start. I felt like TC pulled back on the play calling because he was able to score so quickly out the gate. And then in the beginning of the second half. So it's going to be down to that. I'm going to give everybody a chance to give their last thoughts or anything that they want to say. And we out of here. And I'll be back. You guys come back, win, lose, or draw. She Loves Thee SWAC Saturday. We'll be having a game recap as long as looking at all of the other games in HBCU football. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. If you would like to make a donation or become a member, all of that information can be found at the top of the screen, and I'll drop the membership. Coach 67, you have anything you want to say to do you have a monologue for the ending of the show?
Well, as a rebuttal to your point, it's a rivalry game. So a lot of those points you made, I think when you get to the Boombox Classic, I think it's a moot point, because really I think, it being a SWAC rivalry, the first SWAC championship game was between, Southern and Jackson State. Like a lot of that stuff you said, I think it kind of goes out the window, whether you playing pro mode on Madden or all pro or all Madden. I think all of that's irrelevant. I think, once you get to Jackson Saturday, I think all of that kind of goes out the window, in my personal opinion. And, of course, the Jaguar Journal, your channel, HBC Overdrive, I shared all of those links in the community section of my channel. So, of course, I follow everybody's content. The Jaguar Journal kind of early on a Saturday morning, before I really get going. But, I still enjoy the show. But I enjoy being on the panel. I appreciate everybody. I got an early morning tomorrow. I got duty tomorrow. I got practice. So I'll catch y'all on the rebound. Y'all have a blessed, phenomenal evening. And, I'll be back next time for post-game if that's what y'all would like,
Absolutely. Would love to hear your thoughts on it and recap and a breaking down of the numbers of the defensive schemes. How did the offensive line hold up? I would love for you to come back. Thank you so much for coming on the channel. And if you could also drop your YouTube channel in the comment section so that people can watch it.
Yes, ma'am. Y'all have a blessed evening.
All right. TJ or Doc, y'all got something y'all want to say?
Oh man,
I got something I want to say.
But I like how it is. You my sister, and I like coming on here. We just have fun and shoot the shit and stuff like that. But I was supposed to do something for Suno Athletics today, but of course with the storm that came through. Got my live, got pushed back. So check out Suno Night Live, probably in the next 2 weeks. So we'll be on with that. But other than that, I have my show tomorrow night and give my picks for all HBCU D1 and D2 with me and Uncle Said. And then of course we have I'll probably run to the house on Saturday afternoon early because I have to be at work, but come in and kind of basically stream the game for those who don't got ESPN Plus or don't want to pay for ESPN Plus. That's my gift to everybody. And then of course have a recap show and stuff like that. And other than that, Coach's Call, Top 10 Live, Suno Night Live, all that good stuff right there. So that's what we got going on for the next couple of weeks. And it's JSU by 40 and FTP. Peace.
All right, Perry, you got any last words?
Yeah, first of all, thank you for bringing me on. I had an opportunity. So I guess this is our first time actually. I don't know what this is. Meeting, talking, trash talking. I don't know what you was trying to do tonight, but you was trying it. But thank you for bringing me on. I enjoy being able to talk these sports. You say you never watched me before, so I recommend you come check me out sometime. You may learn something from me, or you may end up liking my style of how I deliver when it comes to sports. You can follow me, the Jaguar Journal, on YouTube as well as Facebook. I also have my own network, the On the Yard Network, across all social media and YouTube. And I do a show on Monday nights with my man Off Script, Outspoken. You can catch me there as well. And I do plenty of shows. I do another show with Hall of Fame baseball coach Roger Kadar, former Southern University baseball coach, National Baseball Hall of Fame, College Baseball Hall of Fame coach. So you catch me all there. Chopping Up with Coach Roger Kadar. You catch me with Off Script, with Outspoken. You catch me on the Yard and the Jaguar Journal. I do a host of things, and maybe out of one of those shows that you tune into, if you do, you may end up liking what I have to say. And I hope you enjoy me on here tonight. I thank you for allowing me to come on, but I got to end it with this. I cuss. So fuck you, fuck this show, fuck Jackson State. Southern gonna win this game this weekend. I appreciate you, and thank you for having me on. Let's go, Jags.
Well, all right. So, I just kind of sharing that sentiment, but I'll be doing mine on mute.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I don't want my stuff to get flagged. I don't know. And I want for my channel to be marketable, and for, commercials or,
But don't do no
sponsoring
Southern
my
versus
channel.
Jackson State.
And
Don't do it, because this
so,
is
as I was saying before I was rudely interrupted, I'm going to act like Madam President. I'm speaking. I'm speaking. Perry knew what it was. I don't know why he wouldn't know what it was. It's Southern State. And on top of that, I didn't come into his inbox. He came into my inbox. Now, if you don't know me, you should. By Twitter alone, I post receipts. You know what I'm saying? I post receipts, and I ain't gonna do my man like that. But I'll just, go ahead and just put it out there. So this is what happened. I've had a pinched nerve in my back, for the last couple of weeks from when I went to Orange Blossom Classic, and there was a big storm in Charlotte, and they asked, did we want to check our bags for free? So I checked my carry-on. So then I didn't have anything to put my backpack on. So I had my backpack on for like an hour trying to get through for the Orange Blossom Classic at Charlotte. So Perry reached out to me. It was like on a humbug or something. It was last week. He just reached out and said, hey, you want to collab sometime? And I said, I'm never a person that gatekeeps. I love debating about football, and I can always run with the best of them. I basically started my channel because instead of calling into people's channels and giving out my 2 cents for about a minute or 30 seconds, I can come on here and do a 2-hour show and talk as much as I want. So that's why I started my show. I love talking about football. So Perry reached out to me last week and I said, sure. So then here this comes around and I done got to the doctor and I done got doctored on and I'm feeling much better. I said, you know what? I cannot not have a Jackson State versus Southern debate. And then I was like, you know what? Perry's from Southern. Let me reach out to him and see, do he want to come on tonight? Because I was also thinking about the Carlos Brown show. But either way it would have went, I was going to be petty because that's how I am. And you're going to get what you give. So if you coming at me sideways, calling Jackson State ghetto, I'm going to match your energy. It's not going to be disrespectful, not going to be disrespectful. But yes, so I said my little soliloquy to say, I want to thank Perry for coming on. I think if we did a vote or whatever on who won the challenge, I think I might come out on top. And maybe it might be 60-40. It might be 60-40. It might be 60-40.
You know why?
I don't know. It might be 60-40. There's a lot of folks on my channel from all SWAC. We got Southern in here. We have Jackson State. We have FAMU in here. We have Alabama State, Alabama A&M. We got folks from all over the SWAC all up and through here. And Mr. Carey, Carlos Brown show, it was one of those last minute things because as you know, I also have a show and it's on HBCU Plus. It's called Around the Block. And so that particular show is going to be Monday through Fridays, 12 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. And it is with my co-host Zoe Phillips and Ken Clark of Tiger Talk TV and Mike Reed of the Mike Reed Show. So make sure that you guys go and check that out. And as far as what is up with me for the football season, I'm going to try as best as possible. You guys know I have my 7-year-old Braxton and he has to go to bed at 8:30. Try as best as possible to have Thursday night lives between 9 and 9:30. And then my Saturday, either it's going to be a day live or after show. That's what I'm committed to as of right now. I want to thank everybody for coming. And I want everybody to have a good night. Thank y'all. I can't put Perry back on. He was cussing. I don't want him to mess up I'm going to have to we won't be able to come back and read the comments because of the vulgarity.
Bring me back on.
No, you were cussing. Hey, get off
I
here.
said,
You can't be cussing on my channel now. So y'all have a good night.
Peace.
In terms of Sutton.
see, you want to do all this like this.
Why does he keep turning his thing on? After he cussed on my live, he can't come back on here. You ain't finna be getting my live, whatchamacallit. You got me messed up. Been on here damn near 2 hours. And you think you finna say the F word? And then, no. Good night, Mr. White. Thank you for coming on. Thank you. I sure appreciated you. Thank you. Have a good night. What be wrong with these? I'm over here looking like Madam President.
I'm shaking my head over here.
Don't you got a YouTube channel? Don't you know about monetization? Stop playing.
Hey, I gotta make sure you gotta make sure that Bunyan come in up in there.
Yeah.
Give me my money.
Give me my money.
Give me my money.
Oh, speaking of just give me my money. Since you still on here, all I want to know is about the Southern Heritage Classic. How you gonna fix it? You done messed me up the Jobless visit. I done called the police because I'm doing a refund. A refund is due unto me. Don't feel like I just been abused out here today. God ain't pleased with this. You can't do the Saints like this. Boy, I don't even know what I'm gonna sit out here telling the police car. I'm gonna sit out here telling the police car. I'm doing refund. Because I'm doing one of me. So I hear that Eddie George wants for a Jackson State to return to the Classic.
Oh yeah, I think he enjoyed having Jackson State as guests over in Memphis, especially since they are, University of Memphis is actually remodeling their stadium now. So he wants it back. He wants the pageantry. He wants the glamour. He wants to see all that stuff right there. But
see, and there's always more than one way to skin a cat. Like, we can do these things and we don't have to do these things, right? There's a way for you to do it without doing it. This is exhibit A of how you do things like this without doing things like this. So, we can do this without doing it. You don't got to do it like that. But yeah. So we shall see. We shall see. I all I have to say is tell them bring me my money.
What was it? What was the song by Old Dirty Bastard? Hey, Dirty.
Oh,
baby, I got your money.
That's what Fred needs to
say. Hey,
go Fred. Baby, I got your money. Don't you worry. I said, hey, Fred, I got your gas and your travel hotel. Baby, I got
we need all that, and it definitely needs to go to both. It definitely needs to be done for both schools, not just for Jackson State. It needs to be done for both schools.
Yeah, definitely. Like, don't see. This is my only thing is, and that's the thing, which is that's Tennessee State's biggest game, right? And it's something that they were missing. So Kendrick Marshall, he basically published. Yeah, he published an article, and and I'm gonna go ahead and drop that in the comments. But basically, yeah, he asked, we need to play Jackson State. We need that game in our life, right? We need those 50,000 plus fans. And so to that, we say, you know what? We are not a bougie type, like we're just too good, but we want to be paid our worth. You don't want to shortchange yourself in anything that you do. Never shortchange yourself, never accept less because people don't know your worth. So to that, we say, you want us back in this? Because, this Southern game is played early. It might even be hot this weekend, right? Usually it's a little bit of a cooler breeze by the time we play Sutton. Y'all make sure y'all drink y'all Gatorade and y'all water.
Yeah, it's supposed to be hot and humid, and shouldn't be no rain in the forecast this weekend because the storm done already went through. It done went through.
The storm is over now. No more. Well, the storm is over for Jackson State, not for Southern. They getting ready to get twirled real fast in Jackson. And that's just that. That's on that. And you don't need, I'm going to just tell you right now, when I was looking at the numbers, right? Mm-hmm. Jackson State's should clear Okay, so this is what I did. I did 12,000 tickets, and we get about 35 per ticket. That's 420,000. So that's basically taking $35 out of the season tickets, right? And then I'll say, what do you think? About 30,000? I'll say, yeah, 30,000 at 50 tickets. That's 1.5 million. And then we got concessions, tailgating, and they're going to be tailgating all day long. All day long. The high is supposed to be 83. The low is supposed to be 70.
That's good football weather then.
Yeah. So we're going to ring in probably about close to $2 million, right? 2.2 maybe even, right? 2.2 million maybe is how much we'll bring in after expenses for the field, the officials, security, of which, and by the way, I'm a firm believer that the amount of money that is bought into the city, that the city should subsidize some of these things for certain games. But, that's just, I'm sure that's in the works. But we should be clearing no more than, we're going to be clearing $1 million, right?
Right.
For this game. And then when we go to Southern, they probably spend maybe 75,000. What do you think? 75,000?
As far as bringing like
75,000 will bring the band and the football team. 75,000. Because it's like a 3-hour. It's a 3-hour drive.
It's a 3-hour drive. Yeah, you can kind of go into the. You can kind of say, yeah, you can say 75,000. I mean, like
so for
ULM,
75,000. Which, how far is ULM? An hour and a half?
Yeah, hour and a half from Jackson.
So the Boom requested for like I think $10,000, right, to go to ULM.
It's just a drive.
Right. So Southern is about 3. So I'm thinking that it's like about 25,000 and about 5 to feed the kids or feed the students, maybe, give or take. And then you have to have some nourishment, some Gatorade, some waters. Basically, what I'm saying is that we're gonna clear $1 million, and then when we do our home versus Southern, we're only gonna come out of pocket no less than 100,000. That's on the high end.
That'd be 100,000. That'd be nice.
So that's how it works for this home and home game, which is why Jackson State and Southern should never, and I do absolutely mean never, should never sell their home and home game, right? They should never do that.
Well, the reason why we did that back in the day earlier, and it was like around 2000 when we played in the Dome, because in a sense the game kind of outgrew itself. Like we was supposed to, I think the game was supposed to be in Baton Rouge, and at the time both teams was hot. You talking about hot? So I
think sometimes they get caught up in the fanfare, right? Ooh, it's New Orleans. But for Southern versus Jackson State, that's a game that should always be home versus home, just because of the radius of people that come, right? So it's a 3-hour. I'm giving Dirkland, I'm giving the traffic. So it's 3 hours. There's a certain time you got to get above the hill. What time do you have to get over that hill or the hump?
Over the hump.
Yeah, if you're trying to get to Jackson State by 3:00, what time do you need to leave? Early.
Like, if the game was at Southern, and if we were gonna pack out Mumford, and the game was at 6, you had to be there no later than 2. Like, seriously.
Okay. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and read some information on the game just to, you know, and I'm going to copy and paste that in the comments just in case people have questions or if you're aware so you can share it. Like I said, I don't feel like Southern should not have to. Southern, come to Jackson. Ain't no need in getting all of this stuff to move when you can just do home and home and spend less than $100,000 on expenses for your program, right? The only thing I would say is maybe Southern could hold more people, right? I mean, Jackson State fills up the Mumford by themselves, you know? So the only thing that's really stopping Baton Rouge from really getting the amount of money that they could possibly earn, and that's the capacity situation, right?
Yeah, I
So
mean, you could bring in temporary bleachers and stuff like that to up the attendance. Let's say Memphis seat like 24,000. You could bring in temporary
arguing with
bleachers.
them folks last year, they was like, we don't do that. We don't bring in bleachers. I
Well,
was like,
shoot.
oh, okay.
Stay broke. Stay broke, my friend.
You said stay broke.
Stay broke, my friend.
Why would you say that?
I'm just saying for the time about they don't bring in no bleachers. Stay broke, my friends.
I mean, you could get another 5,000. I mean, I feel like, you know, it's just kind of like limiting itself. It's limiting, you know? Let me see if I can look at this depth chart. Who we got as the depth chart?
Mm.
I don't think I see any changes.
I don't think it's any changes either. I mean, the only thing
I see Joannes Fortillen's gonna be on X. I don't know if he was X the last time.
So
we know
he's on the outside.
Rico's not gonna be playing. We know that. So he's on the depth chart, but it hasn't been removed. Travis Terrell didn't play last Saturday, but he's on here. So, you know.
But I did like what Coach TC said, as far as he said that he wanted to get all his running backs looks, especially did on Saturday. Especially when he had Nate Blount and you know, Amon Miller. Pretty much everybody running the ball. Desmond Moultrie. They said Irv is back. Yes, sir. So I would ease Irv into the rotation, and when if he could get downhill real fast, then hey, full steam ahead. It's the third game of the season. So with JD, I don't know about JD Martin yet, but he might be a game time decision. We just don't, you just don't know yet. But like I said, with our defense, I did, because I watched the game twice.
Right.
And what I saw different from our defense, we was ultra aggressive, especially with our DBs playing man. Our defensive line was aggressive, getting to the quarterback, stopping the run. It just made life a living, for Lane in the first half. Now when they switched their quarterback in the second half, you started to see the Dragons move the ball a little bit more with efficiency, and they felt like they got a little bit of confidence. I don't think they cared. I mean, they probably cared about the score, but I don't think they really cared about the score at the time, at that moment now, because they already know, look, we're down by 40-something points. Right. There's no way we're gonna get, there's no way we're gonna get that many points back on the board like that. So let's just try to go out there and play, see what we can do when before we head back to Jackson, Tennessee, and start off SWAC play. Because I was about to say, if we didn't, I think we let our foot off the gas a little bit, because if we didn't, we would have just kept full throttle. I don't know if you looked in the group chat, but I did send a picture of a score from earlier this evening, and it was South Alabama versus Northwestern State. They put 87 on that team tonight.
Talking about in football?
In football.
They doing basketball numbers?
87-10.
That's ridiculous. I'm saying it's ridiculous, but we gave an extra 10 minutes off the clock versus Lane. Just an FYI, tomorrow is the last day that you can get tickets for $50. On Saturday, it'll be $55, and there will be no parking passes sold on game day. There will be no parking passes sold on game day. Once again, there will be no parking passes sold. So what that means is y'all better get y'all tickets now. Impact tickets, you got to get them. Your parking pass, you're not going to be able to get it on the same day. And download them to your phone before you get there, or print them out. Buy your tickets online at jsutigers.com/tickets. Download your tickets on your Android or Apple device. Put them in your wallet prior to arrival at the stadium. So you know how you can add things to your wallet, because sometimes the Wi-Fi doesn't work. Add it to your wallet or print it out.
Yep.
And of course, it's a clear bag situation unless you have medical needs. A whole bunch of host of prohibited bags. Just, and lastly, the other thing that I will say is, do not park in unregulated places. Don't do it. Don't be parking on no side of the road. You can't find a park, or this, that, and the third. They say that they're going to watch it for $20, and then at 9-10 o'clock, they're not there any longer because nobody else, the parking lot is full. They done got their $20 to $25 that they charge for you to park there. Don't park in unsafe spots.
You know what's so crazy? The crazy thing is, when I usually come, go to the game, so on the side, there's some houses that's on the side. Most of the time, the people be out there, they'll be like, hey, we'll watch a car for like $20. I mean, $10 at their house. They'll park it right there in their front yard, because basically most of the time they're out there barbecuing and stuff, and they listen to the game too. So that's where most of the time that's where I usually park at. So, but at the same time, I'm the type of person I'm trying to leave early. Got to leave early.
You got to leave early. I mean, so here's what I'm thinking. Not trying to be funny. If this game goes the way I think it's going to go, folks are going to be leaving after halftime from a certain school, right? They're going to go ahead and get on down on the road. It's going to be out of reach. And they're going to go ahead and let me go ahead and get on the road. Let me go ahead and get on the road. So that's how I think it'll go down, But then again, folks might stay because that fifth quarter, I was going to say more so the fifth quarter.
What do you think? Let's get this conversation right here for a second. I don't know if you had it already. If you
it's sold out. Sorry, y'all. Ain't no more parking. It's sold out. So the $30 general parking for the Southern game is sold out. So that means that y'all need to looks like you're gonna have to try to either park at a safe spot that and yeah.
So So what
Let
do
me
you
see.
think about the Boom charging for their media credentials?
So I don't think there's anything wrong with charging. I don't know how long that they've said that they were charging. So if they just did this 3 days prior, then it's kind of like, damn. And I'm just saying that from a media credentials type of person, right?
Mhm.
So all of the tickets are online. We do still have tickets left. It's general admission anyway. So it's $50. So you can still buy your ticket online. But there's nothing wrong with charging for credentials for the band, just because people make content off of it. You make money off of it. There's some people who apply for credentials for a myriad of reasons. So my thing is that it was like, you got 3 days to do this. All right. And it's like, damn, I got to come up with $500 or $300 in 3 days.
Mhm.
No, actually, you had to get it in 2 days, right? Because
2
you have
days.
to apply for it. The media pass is for the whole season, not just one game. So that's good to hear that it's for the whole season. I'm glad somebody
That's cool.
verified.
I mean, I think
Right?
that's
Because
good though.
they didn't verify that in the
In the letter.
original press release that was released. They did not verify that the $500 that you're paying is for the remainder of the season. So that makes it a lot better.
Because guess what? That you getting your credentials,
That's
like
definitely
you
better.
viewing it, you're gonna make that $300 to $500 back off, especially if your page is if your channel is monetized.
Right. And then it's all in knowing how to do it, right? So 8-minute clips are better, and then knowing how to use your 1-minute clips. So now that I know that it's for the remainder of the season, I'm actually absolutely ecstatic about that, right? Because I was like, dang, is it $300 per game or is it $500 per game? Like, what is the cost of it? So Thomas Rankin is the one that said it. So I don't have that information. And Champ D says, as somebody who makes money on YouTube, gonna have to get a lot of views to make that money up. And that's probably true. But I would look at it as this. It's an investment, right? I went to some of these YouTubers that do band work, and some of them have millions of views on some of their content. And I, if that just weeds out a couple of people from, because there's going to be like 20 to 30 people down there specifically to film the bands. I will say this, media credentials, they are hard to come by, right?
Yeah.
And it just shows that you're really invested in your craft by paying that and supporting the band, right? So I don't think there's anything wrong with them charging. I was kind of like, dang, they got to come up with that $500 real quick. It's towards the end of the week. But now that I know that it's for the whole season, more power to them. It says they'll need millions of views. I make money from Pantheon and sponsorships than YouTube views. And maybe you got to also recycle your content, right? You can post it, or you can have a show where you have a competition breaking down the band battle, have guests on there, get sponsors for the content that you're doing, like you said. Who is coming to JSU's remaining home games? So we still have a FAMU game. We still have Valley game, UAPB. That's it, right?
Yeah. I'm trying to I filled out my credentials for the FAMU game. I'm still waiting on I still waiting on for what they're gonna say. I actually filled out for credentials for the Prairie View game when they played Texas Southern, and I didn't get it because they was like, well, you don't cover Prairie View a lot. I'm like, well, you only had like 2 channels that actually cover Prairie View, but it is what it is.
Wow, that's really weird that they would do that.
So
Yeah.
and that's the reason why I didn't, that's the reason why I didn't go. So,
Oh,
but
Miss Foot says you can catch the shuttle from Smith Wills Stadium for $20. So let me see if I can pull up the maybe I can pull up this information for that. It says the shuttle drop off and pickup will be on the West Street side at the vet. Shuttles will run with an escort every 45 minutes to 1 hour, depending on traffic throughout the competition. There will be a short break at the beginning of the third quarter before shuttles start transporting fans back. Let me go ahead and see this, if I can pull this information up.
well, that's good though.
Yeah. That's good. And that means that you're going to have a safe space, right?
Mm-hmm.
For your vehicle. You're going to have a safe space, which is very, very important. Let me see if I can find it. I'm trying to see if I can find the page for that.
Excuse me. Hold on. I'll be right back.
Well, I couldn't find the information, but they said that they have it. I found an article about it. They can be used. How far is that baseball stadium from Jackson State, since they don't have a baseball team right now? I wish we offered shuttles from downtown for those of us who stayed in hotels in that area. Yes. So this weekend, I have my son, Lord, a 7-year-old. So Braxton has chess on Wednesdays. Sometimes he has STEM club. He's in soccer at the YMCA. He starts that Saturday. He has a birthday party to go to. What else is he doing? And he swims during the week. So I'm just really, really busy. But I do plan on Saturday having that great old Saturday night live with She Loves Thee. Win, lose, or draw. He's in the first grade. Win, lose, or draw. We will be back here on Saturday. And depending on the score, I might be quiet, or I might still be talking mess, or, I might be obnoxious. But just come back and see me. I had fun tonight.
I came in late because I was on there with Troy and TP now tonight and Marlo. They told me to tell you what's up.
Tell them I said what's up. But yeah, excuse me. I'm looking forward to having a one for FAMU.
As far as what, a stream?
No, doing a Jackson State versus FAMU.
Oh.
I might have to bring Troy for that. I don't know.
Troy and Marlo. Marlo actually went to FAMU. That's interesting.
I need y'all to step it up in the fantasy league.
Say, cause I'm third place. I mean, what am I, third place overall?
Let me see. Oh, Blue shouldn't even be allowed to be.
Blue is not allowed to.
Blue should not be even allowed to do this. Like, how? Why would he do that? Why would you invite Blue to be on there? No, don't invite
Lionel.
Blue.
Lionel.
Let me see where I'm at. I took a beating, and you know what it was? Jacobian didn't start for one. He didn't start.
For last week, I was in fourth place with 75.3 points.
See where I was at. Okay, so I'm in this HBCU fantasy football league. It's okay because I'm gonna bounce back. Did I even do mines this week? What week are we in?
We in week
Are
3.
they're due tomorrow by 12, right?
Yeah, I think he got a
So my
send it
QB1
in.
didn't start. Jacobian Morgan didn't. Jacobian didn't start. Boy, I'm picking Quad Brown. Quad Brown. QB1. Quad Brown.
Who did I have in my starting quarterback? I think I had David Wright as my starting quarterback.
Who?
David Wright for Clark. I'm third place. I'm third place overall. I said I'm third place overall.
I mean, like, I was doing so well. But anyway, I got to get back in the field because, you know, you really have to take a look at the D2 games and the NAIA games. That's what I mean. I'm over here. I thought it was only SWAC schools.
It's all HBCUs.
Oh, well, Quad's going to be my quarterback this week. I got to make sure I do it tomorrow.
What's this week?
They're playing Georgetown Tigers, a Kentucky NAIA game.
Yeah.
I'm picking Quad Brown.
Should
He's
I
gonna
pick
do Super Bowl numbers.
Should I pick Mekhi Higgins or Draylon Ellis for quarterback?
Oh, you think Draylen's gonna do numbers against UAPB?
I think he might be. I think he might be decent, but
I think Quad will do better against NAIA.
I mean, well, that's.
It says Quad was my quarterback last week. Plus, I had Jarrett Hunter, who had 3 touchdowns. I was like, what the hell is Zach over there doing? What is he over there doing? You know what? I got to get it together this week. I got to get 100 points this week.
Have you gotten your thing sent in so you filled it out? Have you filled yours out already?
What?
Yeah.
No, I think it's due tomorrow at 12.
Okay, well, he'll probably send it out.
Did he even send it out? Week 3?
I don't know. We gotta add. I need to get his number.
Yeah, Blue doesn't pick with his heart. That's why he's winning. I mean, let's just keep it a buck. Jackson State versus Lane. We didn't know QB1 wasn't starting. If QB1 was starting, he would have had some big numbers. Oh, okay. Blue said it's already in the email. Well, I need to go ahead and fill out week 3, but I know already off jump I'm choosing all FCS versus NAIA games. I guess I am going to have to figure out which wide receiver for Tennessee State's going to run up some numbers, or maybe a running back. I'm going to pick one. Yeah. So
hey, I'm about to say, Blue, send me that email, man, because I'm trying to.
In last place, that's PB versus everybody. That's lying.
No, that's a Golden Boot. That's Pooh Bear. He just came through. He just came in.
Oh, okay. No, he didn't just come in. He was playing last week.
No, he played last week. This is his first week.
Oh, he didn't. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, damn. Okay.
I can't.
I need my football acumen. I need to be up there this week. I need to be up. So, yeah, I'm gonna do my get back. And I want to know who these folks are picking, though. That's what I want to know. Shoo. Because you'll know whether or not who you picked did a good job. But damn, I was like, damn, I messed up. I'm gonna be real for real now. If you want to, there's a couple of different pools. I know that Brian of ONG Strike Zone, he has a game where you pick who's going to win. Basically, you get 5 games and you pick who do you think is going to win the game. I need to make my picks for this week. I'm glad you guys reminded me. Make your picks. North Carolina A&T versus Delaware. I might joke and play, right? I might joke and play when I do my picks. Prairie View, but it's on whether or not they're going to cover. Delaware State versus Wagner. Damn, those 3 don't even have a line. So that's Delaware, Howard, and Wagner. They don't even have lines. Dang, I'm surprised. Alcorn's going to get their first win of the season versus Edward Waters. They're going to actually score a touchdown. Yay!
I mean, they'll score a touchdown, but Edward Waters a little bit, I don't know. But they should win.
You think? What you mean? What do you mean by that? I'm picking all the games that don't have lines. Samford versus Alabama State. Yo, did you hear the news about Alabama State's quarterback situation?
Yeah, O'Brien had to retire because of concussions.
Yo, that is crazy.
Like somebody that's in the NFL right now might need to take a step back.
Tua?
Oh yeah, he got his bell rung tonight again. Got his bell rung tonight.
I cannot believe this. Like, I mean, he should have been done. I don't even know how you get that many and still be in the league. Like, at this point, it's pure negligence on the NFL, right? You have to make
it's not pure negligence on the NFL. It's
you can't if you're in college, you cannot. Ooh, y'all quit playing with me. Quit playing with me. Listen, I might talk a lot of mess on Twitter when I do my weekly picks, right? What does that say right there? Woo-hoo! Boy, I was 5-0 last week. Play with it.
I got the mood running pool. My bad. Dang.
Sweet.
But I mean.
Oh, it was Damar Hamlin that did it. The one that
Damar.
the one that that died on the field.
Mm-hmm.
What? Okay, so I'm mad that first of all, he ain't say no congratulations. Okay, I have 6 wins and 4 losses. I only got 7 points. Yeah, I gotta be 5-0 this week, which I think I will be. So I'm tied in 8th place right now. Look at Champ. I know Dave is betting against his own team this week. I'll run your pool. I guarantee you he picked Delaware. Dave, you picked Delaware this week. Let me stop messing with him. Damar Hamlin said, call the ambulance, but not for me. Damn.
Call the ambulance.
Why you wrong for that? All right, y'all. Let me get off of here. My son was hollering like, Mommy, why do I have to go to bed in my bed? Because I have a live and you're not getting ready to be over here playing. So I have to go check on him. Why do I have to? Y'all, see y'all Saturday night. I had fun. We'll see you on Saturday.
All right. See everybody Saturday.
Let me play this is the face that I had when they said that Southern was going to beat Jackson State in Jackson this weekend. No. Not happening. Not happening. Can't wait to see. It's going to be weird to see Coach Fred McNair, on the sidelines in a blue or yellow.
In the Columbia blue and gold.
Yes, it's gonna be weird.
Yeah, that's ultra weird right there.
But I'm gonna be excited. I'm gonna be tuned in, and y'all come back here for the after party. And it made a big time, Willie. Willie! He gone! Willie! How you gonna fix it? You done messed me up the jobless visit! I done called the police because I'm doing a refund. A refund is due unto me. Don't feel like I just been abused down here today. God, please like this. You can't do the Saints like this. Oh, I don't even know what I'm gonna sit out here till the police come. I'm gonna sit out here till the police come. I'm doing.
Man, hey, write a check your ass in cash, man. That's all I can say. Man, hey, write a check your ass in cash, man. That's all I can say. Man, hey, write a check your ass in cash, man. That's all.